Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Oh my goodness. Trying to get on my pillow right. Good Lord. Sorry, my ass cushions. Not cooperating with my ass this morning. Alright, here we go. Alright, good morning. Finally. Good morning, everyone. Hello. Good morning. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the kingdom of the ape, the apostate ape. Good morning, CJ. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Welcome in on this fine Sabbath day. And it is the Sabbath. The day the good Lord will unalive your ass for picking up sticks on. Thank you all for the likes already. That's pretty awesome. As usual, if you're watching this as a replay on my YouTube channel, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video. It helps me a whole lot. If you are on TikTok, just tapping the screen, just being here, throwing a comment in every now and then, reposting, all that stuff helps the channel immensely. TikTok does like the gifts the best, but any little thing you can do to help the channel is greatly appreciated. Firebrand, that's what I'm talking about. What up, buddy? Good morning, everybody. The morning plugs. We got Dr. Joshua Bowen, the best friend of the channel here, the gracer of the channel. You can learn some ancient Hebrew with us. I've been learning Hebrew for a little over a week now, as much as I can anyway. But this is Dr. Joshua Bowen's new book. You can get it on Amazon for $29.95, and you too can learn Hebrew from the man himself. And it's pretty awesome. Person in the guest there, give me just a second and I'll bring you up. If you're a Christian and you want to debate us, you absolutely can come up. Just give me just a second. Let's let a few more people roll in here. Maybe another minute and a half, 2 minutes, something like that. Also, guys, don't forget, we just debate Christians in here, buddy. Sorry about that. Let's see. All right. Don't be forgetting, y'all, the Rocket City Reason Conference is coming up this October the 23rd, 4th, and 5th. Going down in Huntsville, Alabama. I hear you. You can learn a pretty good bit in 45 minutes. But, shoot. The Rocket City Reason Conference is being put on by the Godless engineer, who we know and love. He's one of the titans of the debate world, the atheist communities. And if you're a traveler or you're somewhere in the region of the Southeast, come on by. We'll all be there. We'll all be hanging, and it will be awesome. Oops, sorry. Good Lord, I keep forgetting to unfilter the comments here. Maybe I can do it. Let's see. Maybe I can do it. Comments. Guess I can't do it once I start the live. I ain't sure. I keep forgetting to do that every stinking day. It's the one thing I always forget. Andy, if you are a Christian and you are requesting up to debate us, let me know in the comments, please. Everybody else, good morning. What's up? It's the Sabbath. It's the Sabbath. The Sabbath day. The Lord will unalive you for picking up a stick. Yeah, I haven't ate this now. What does that say? I'm messianic, so I can argue for him fulfilling prophecies. Oh, I mean, that'd be fine. Close enough. It's technically a Christian if you follow Christ, so my bad. I thought you just meant you weren't a Christian at all. No, request back up. We can talk about that. That's my favorite topic. Jesus fulfills zero prophecy. The New Testament says he does. It'd be especially cool to talk with a messianic person about it. Dr. Josh, good morning. We have to do 40 daily rituals. Interesting. Alright, well, let's go ahead and try. There's no name. Let's try the cat person here.
Hello. Hi,
Cat
how are
person,
you?
hello. Doing well? You're over 18, right?
Yes, I'm 20.
Awesome. You said you're messianic?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a very, very small sect. We hardly ever talk to messianic folks.
Yeah. Okay, can we start off with what do you Isaiah 53?
Right? You think that's about Jesus?
Yes,
What makes you think that?
because it describes him exactly as what happened to him.
Well, there's some sentences that kind of correlate with what was going on with Jesus, but if you actually read Isaiah, the context says over and over again that the servant who's suffering is Israel. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, let's pull it up. Where
I'm
exactly
ready.
does it say that?
Well, it says it in 44, it says it in 41, 42, 45, 48, and 49. Oh, she dropped. Wheezy, what's up? I don't know if that was on purpose or not. Thank you. I appreciate it. The hand hearts are really helping today. It's going to help me help my next live level gold thingy. What's up? I'm not sure. Hopefully she'll come back though. We didn't even get into the the meat of the bones there. Can I read John? Why would I read that? Probably all read John here before. Well, I guess we'll try Andy. Well, I don't think he requested up on purpose though. She was raptured. The day of judgment just happened. We missed it. She got taken. We got left. We was the one in the field still out here working. Jesus was made up. Yeah, pretty much. Well, the character Jesus was made up, but definitely. He was perhaps a historical figure. I'm not even sure about that anymore. But even if it was, all semblance of that man historically is gone. And what we're left with is the myth and legend. Kind of like Hercules. Anyway, if you're a Christian and you want to come up and talk at us, we would love to talk to you. We had a messianic Jew up here, but her signal or something dropped quite quickly. Either that or she didn't know there was 8 or 9 other references to Israel being the suffering servant, and she panicked all of a sudden. Certainly not that she was here. Didn't say her signal was bad, so I'm not sure. Yeah. Sorry, my nose is running a little bit. Yeah, that's true, Ari. I guess you can be a Jew too, though. You can be both. Why not? I'm just making stuff up anyway. Why not? Anyway, guys, welcome in. Good morning. The Sabbath day is off. This is day number 72 in a row. I've been streaming now. That's pretty crazy. Yesterday I made it to 1,911 followers. By the time I woke up this morning, I was back down to like 1907 or something. Flipda, are you a Christian that requested up on purpose to debate us? Please let me know in the comments. That name sounds kind of familiar. But if you are, just let me know. We'll bring you up here. True. 'Tis the Sabbath. Short content. Oh, cool. Alrighty then. Not a demon. What's up? Thank you for the hearts. Sounds right. Gauge. That's correct. I'm in concurrence. Alright, let's try a Flipda here. Flipda, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's up, man? You're over 18 and you're a Christian?
Yes, sir. I am.
Awesome. So which one of these topics you want to debate us on today?
Is this a debate or you going to drop me once I start bringing out facts? Because everybody say debate, and then once you start bringing out facts, then they
If
drop.
you can't even pick a topic, I'm just going to drop you.
All right, so first topic, number one, no one should be a Christian. Number two, God is an unjust narcissist. Number three, fulfillment zero prophecy in the Old Testament. I'm going to go with number one. And why I go
Number
with you with
one.
number one is because I actually agree with you.
Oh,
I actually agree with you. Nobody
don't
should be
sound
a
like we have much to
Christian.
debate then.
No, we do. Just hear me out. Nobody should be a Christian because um Christianity does zero of what the Bible says. Now, two, God is an unjust narcissist.
Are you just rereading the topics, or
I don't believe that. I don't believe God is an unjust narcissist.
which topic are we debating on?
That God is an unjust narcissist.
Okay. Well,
But
I
can
say
I
God
ask
is
you
an
a question?
unjust.
Can I ask you a question though? Just because we just conversating. Why do you say
So
nobody
far, you're
should
just
be a
talking,
Christian?
but
Why do you believe that nobody should be a Christian?
because the Bible's not true, and neither is Christianity.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, why do you feel like God is a narc? I mean, I don't feel like God is an unjust narcissist. I don't believe that.
I say he's an unjust narcissist because the Bible says that God does everything God does for God. He does it for his own glory, and so his own name might be proclaimed throughout the earth. But I say he's unjust because he allows generational punishments, and the crimes or the punishment he inflicts on people for the crime don't match. Like he unalives a guy on the Sabbath, which is today, for picking up a stick, which is quite unjust in my opinion.
Well, I mean, I would say that God is when he says something, he means it.
That don't make him just.
Hey, I mean, if you are a creation of God, then if He told you not to do something, then don't do it. You're not supposed to work
Do
on
you
the
think people
Sabbath.
deserve to die for picking up a stick?
I'm not saying. I mean, I it's not up to me to decide. I didn't create them. I'm not the
Do you think
creator.
it's just for God to unalive people for picking up a stick?
That's what He said. He said, "Don't work on that day."
So you do think it's justified to unalive people because they picked up a stick?
Not me per se. Not any human being, but God
Oh,
did
okay.
that.
Well,
I
then
didn't
God
do it.
isn't just. It sounds like
Not
you
any
agree.
human being. No, no. I mean, God does what He will. He created us.
Yeah. Yeah, he unalives people for picking up sticks and looking in the wrong
But
direction.
what
And
about all the good things God did for people in the Bible too? What about
all
that?
the good things are overbeared by the atrocities God inflicts on people,
Like,
like having babies bashed to pieces in front of their parents and having a bunch of women raped for
yeah,
stuff they didn't even do.
yeah. I mean, that's in there. That's why I could say that.
It sure is.
I would say that that book, the God of the Bible, is a God of war. I mean, when I read the Old Testament, I would say that He's a God of war. Because it's a whole lot of war there.
Yeah,
So
sure.
I would say that if I was accept the Bible, you got to accept it in its totality.
Okay. Well, you haven't made a case that God is actually just yet. Do you want to do that?
I mean, when I read about the story of the Israelites, a lot of things about them from other nations. You know, a lot of things, all because they wouldn't listen or hearken to what God said for them to do. And then when they started hearkening, like say for instance, when the Pharaoh decided, when they started, Moses, come on, let my people go. And even then they rebelled. But then once they got him out of there, Pharaoh, he didn't want to listen, And what
God
happened?
made him not listen.
Yeah.
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 So,
So when Pharaoh hardened his heart And God did let them not listen. Well, what was the lesson being taught to the people he chose?
I don't know. What was it?
The lesson that was being taught was listen to what I said. You see, for example,
Or
what I
else I'll have your babies bashed to pieces and your women great.
Mm-hmm.
God is great. You serve a great God, buddy.
Yeah, God already did that to my people. You don't know that? I'm African
David, are you
American,
there?
man.
David?
Oh, hey, what's up? Yeah. So,
Yeah,
God
you
did
were
that.
yeah,
That's done
you
with
were
my
over
people.
yeah,
18 and you're a Christian, right?
yep, yeah. I was on the show last week.
Oh,
I
cool,
told
cool.
you it was
Yeah, I don't remember
a
what we
study with the
talked about.
witnesses. Yeah.
I
So,
got you. Flipda, thanks for coming up, but I don't think it sounds more like you agree with me than disagree, so thanks for coming up. All right, go ahead, David. Sorry. Which
okay,
one of these
so
topics you want to debate us on today?
yeah, so I think Jesus is the narcissist, right? So Jesus Christ was the narcissist, but it was because he had full knowledge and he was right, right? As far as the women being raped and all that stuff, we're still talking about it today, right? A guy dying on the Sabbath, we're still talking about it today. And according to the studies, right, that I've done, I'm not baptized or anything, right? So when I ask these questions, they tell me that it's something that had to happen for all men to witness so that they would know how terrible it is. God is not happy with it. That's,
God's not happy with baby bashing and grape, you mean?
yeah.
Oh, well, he orders it an awful lot for somebody that don't like it.
Yeah. I mean, so for instance, like when stuff like that happens, we all witness it and we talk about it. And we all know without a doubt that it's horrible, it's evil.
Right.
Again, every study that I've ever done, I think you're absolutely right about this, by the way. Every single study I've ever done, it's basically everything is a witness, according to the Christian studies I've been doing. So, but
Oh, you're
I
not
don't want
actually
to
a
ruin your
Christian,
show.
though?
Your show's great, dude. Keep having me up, please. The show's awesome.
Oh, thank
So,
you.
all right, man. I love you.
Awesome.
Take care.
Much love, buddy. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Well, I hear you, buddy. It's a little harder to make an argument. Maybe Jesus was a narcissist specifically, but if Jesus was God, then he was definitely a narcissist. And to whoever asked, yes, I used to speak in tongues. Quite a lot, actually. It's one of the shameful moments of my life. All right, let's try Mr. Jonathan here. Jonathan is not around. Vibrate atheist speaks in tongue when he smashes his finger. All right, guys. No one in the queue at the moment, so if you're a Christian and you want to come on up and debate us on one of these topics here, please do. We'd like to talk to you. We would also like to know why people serve this awful deity. So if you can make a good case why it's good to serve this awful deity, we would like to hear it. Because we are struggling to find a good reason to serve this deity, because this deity seems like an evil narcissist, from what I can tell. So come on up, y'all. Let's see. Crap. Sorry. I keep forgetting to unfilter the comments. Let's see if I can. Let's see where we're at here. Spam comments. Oh, I just did it. All right, there we go. All right, no more filtered comments. I don't think. Sorry, James. Let me unfilter you here. All right. Now the queue's filling up too. Awesome. So here we go. Let's see. What does it say? Mutel. Mutel, you there?
Yep.
What's up, man? Are you over 18 and are you a Christian?
Yes and yes.
Awesome. So which one of these topics you want to debate us on here today?
I guess we could just go by the line. We could say no one should be a Christian. Now I want to see. Do you think there's a difference between Judaism and Christianity? And if you think there is, what would be the difference?
Yeah, there's a huge difference. The Old Testament has its own story to tell. So being a Jew doesn't entail believing this Messiah who comes as some miracle working God himself guy. So Jews don't even have to proselytize where Christians do.
Wait, I'm sorry, repeat that last part. Like, what was the difference?
So Jews don't have to proselytize, Christians do.
What does proselytize mean? I'm sorry.
Just preach, basically. Try to recruit people to the religion.
Oh, Jews don't have to preach? They have synagogues, though.
Yeah, but they don't actively recruit new members to be Jews. They don't have to.
Oh, so you're saying that's the main difference in the theology? Pretty much everything is the same. It's just Jews recruit and then Christians don't.
Well,
Do you think you're doing that justice as far as the
yeah.
the two theologies and the difference?
Well, I'm saying, yeah, that's the biggest difference to me is that they don't
Is
have to
that we don't
proselytize and
recruit
Christians
as
do, but
Christians?
it's the reason why is the big difference.
Okay, yeah. So I think you got it wrong, right? The biggest
Okay.
difference in the theology is that Christians believe that Jesus is not only the Messiah, Jesus Christ is God. And the purpose of a Christian is to live after the life and teachings of Jesus Christ. And that we're imperfect creatures and we can't do this ever. We just have to try to do it to the best of our ability. And what are those things? So the disciples ask Jesus Christ and he clarifies. He says, the greatest of the commands is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your mind. And then to love your neighbor as you love yourself. The law and the prophets rest
Levitic
on
law.
this too.
Yep.
Wait, the Levitical law?
Yeah, that's Levitic law. The two laws you just said, they're both Levitic law.
Yeah, so the Levitical law has two parts though. There's the 10 Commandments, and there's other prescriptions. Like, so okay, so in the 10 Commandments, where does it say anything about clothing
Where does the
or
two
about
commandments
making
you just
sacrifice?
named say anything in the Ten Commandments at all?
Yeah, the first commandment is to love Lord God with all your heart, and love your neighbor as you love yourself is part of the 10 Commandments.
No, it's not. Which commandment is that?
Hold on, you asking for the number?
I'm saying that's not in the Ten Commandments. Love your neighbor as yourself is Levitic law. That's from Leviticus 19. So it's awfully strange that Jesus is telling people to keep Levitic law as a new command when it's not a new command and it's Levitic law. So I mean, I don't know what happened there. I think he's looking up which commandment that was. Buddy, we don't know what happened there. You're teacupped. Yeah, Jesus says, if you love me, keep all my commands, not just these 10 or these 2. Well, I guess we'll try the next one here. See if
Sorry, can you hear me? I'm back. I'm gonna wrap it up.
yeah.
Quick. So
Go ahead.
Yeah, the love your neighbor as you love yourself is not specified in the 10 Commandments. The reason though Jesus Christ would have brought it up.
Because it's not one of the 10 Commandments.
Right. But it encompasses the thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not covet, thou shalt not, all of those things that were interpersonal as far as theft. If you love somebody, you're not going to be jealous of them. If you love somebody, you're not going to steal from them or kill them. But unless we're wrong, right? I don't know any Christian today, right, that follows the Levitical law, that wears a certain type of clothing, that eats the Sabbath. Right. So that's what I'm saying.
You're not listening to Jesus.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that at least maybe you got the right translation. If we read the whole Bible on whether if we should follow the Levitical law or not, we know that 100% of Christians don't. So you apparently have the right theology. and we don't, which is great, right?
And
Like
all
we're
the
always
Christians
learning new
got it wrong.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know,
That's
right? So
crazy.
like, yeah, how possible
It's
is
crazy
it
that the
that
atheists got to tell y'all to listen to Jesus.
yeah, so how crazy is it that that
It's
you
real
know
crazy. It's
the
craziest thing I've heard.
interpretation, while the scholars, the priests, the people who dedicate their whole lives to this thing, right, have gotten a whole different interpretation from what you've got. And that's the
Well,
main
maybe they
difference.
should read
This
the
is
book.
why Christians aren't Jews. I think all of the things that
I think we hear you, buddy. Aqua, are you there? Aqua? Aqua. It's your turn, buddy. Aqua might not be here on purpose, y'all. Yes, and you're correct. 100% of Christians got it all wrong. Maybe y'all should read the book and listen to Jesus. Wait to go there. Wait to get. Oh, here's a. Oh, Aqua is here. So is my home's Dugald.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah. What's up, buddy? Sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
I think he was there a minute ago.
No, I
You're
think he
over
muted me
18
when he
and
came, but I came in after him.
Yeah, that's cool. Are you over 18 and you're a Christian?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. So which one of these topics you want to debate us on here today?
Well, I had joined your live and I heard you saying something to a previous person about if God is just in if he picked up sticks during the Sabbath day, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess we'll focus on that one. God is unjust narcissist.
Okay.
Okay, so, I believe that's Numbers, right? And from what I remember from that story, and I guess anyone here could look it up, I believe it's Numbers 15, right? So this is talking about someone who deliberately goes against God's word, right? And you're aware of this. Okay.
Nope.
Oh, yes, it does.
Nope.
Yes, it does. Because if you look at Numbers 15, where this is from, previous to that, it mentions those that do things undeliberately and the fact that what they would have to do to sacrifice to be forgiven for those things. So anyone that's in here can look up Numbers 15, where this is from, and see exactly what we're talking about here.
Well, it specifically says in this passage that he was not clear on what he was doing, and Moses and the congregation was not clear on what to do with him. So nobody even knew he was doing anything wrong here. But God
The first part that you just said was wrong, but the second part is correct. He was aware of what he was doing, but Moses wasn't sure what to do with him.
He was aware of it.
I can't switch over. I don't have. If I switch over, it'll take me off of this. But anyone that's here can just read through Numbers 15. So,
yeah,
and there's a reason why.
Right, do you want me to read something?
You can read the whole thing. Previous to the point where he was found picking up sticks, you could see that there's a whole list of verses above that.
Well, if he did this unintentionally, according to the one above this, then he should have been able to just sacrifice a goat.
No,
but he never got that opportunity.
No, what this is saying above that is saying that those that do things undeliberately will have the chance to be forgiven. And then it goes to this person who did it deliberately. He was stoned because of the fact that it was deliberate. And it may not say exactly
it was deliberate.
It doesn't say exactly that it was deliberate, but this is the reason why that passage is right after that. It would make no sense.
So if you deliberately pick up a stick, then God is justified in unaliving you.
Okay, so, all right, so this is my answer to that then. So you have to remember, this is under context, right? So these are people who begged God to save them from Egypt, from being under turmoil, being enslaved by these Egyptians, right? And then he appears to them through Moses, right? Everyone knows this story for the most part. For those that don't, he appeared to him in a burning bush. He goes, tells them what to do. He gives them a staff. He goes out against Egypt. He brings plagues upon all these other gods, to show that these other gods were underneath the true God, right? Because all those plagues symbolize the different gods that the Egyptians had. So he goes through all of this. Finally, he defeats Pharaoh in this way, right? He appears to them in the middle of the day as a cloud, in the middle of the night as a flaming fire to lead them through the way. He did all these things, right? So the God that they prayed to answered, And then after that, then they still disobeyed. And he gives them the 10 Commandments at some point, right? Mount Sinai. All these things they witnessed, right? It's not just like, me and you, for example, may have not had these, right? We haven't seen angels in person. We haven't had these miraculous things like that happen. But according to the context of the Bible now, right? We're dealing with people who beg for God to save them. He saves them, gives them mercy, shows them, literally appears, and then they choose to willingly disobey. That's a whole different thing. And you also have to think about who you're disobeying, right? If I disobeyed you, whatever, you could kick me off the live, right? But if I disobey, the law, I'm going to be in prison. If you disobey God, I mean, there has to be.
If you disobey the law, he's going to have your wives raped and your babies bashed to pieces and then unalive you for picking up a stick.
Well, hold on. But let's talk about the stick thing, because that's what we're focusing, right? That's the debate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're saying it's justified that God unalived this guy for picking up a stick.
I think that it's not about the stick, right? It's about disobedience. That's what people struggle with in general.
I'm saying if your disobedience is picking up a stick when you were told not to, I'm not sure death is a proper punishment for that.
But it's okay. But it's more than just like it's the fact that you just disregard God. You don't acknowledge all that He does. So tell me, would you think about doing that if you were a slave and you prayed to God and He appears to you, saves you, builds you, gives you abundance, and he asks you to follow Him, and you just He's God, right? So these people know He's God.
You picked up a stick against His will.
But
maybe the guy thought.
But you're saying that
God won't unalive me just for picking up a stick.
But you're saying that from a position of not believing that there's a God, right?
No, we're taking that from the position of being logical people. If I pick up a stick, that is not warranted of me being unalived. If my child doesn't listen to what I'm telling them, I don't set them on fire forever. That doesn't equate. Y'all think that disobedience is the point. It's not. It's what He does about the disobedience that's the point.
And that's why
How
I mentioned
He responds is the point. He's a disgusting God.
Wait, I didn't know I was debating two people.
Yeah, he's a co-host.
Okay. All right, that's fine, I guess. All right, so what I'm saying is it also depends on who you're breaking the law against. Right. So again, like I said before, if I do something
there's only
against
one person to break the law against, though.
No, but in this world, you can break the law.
Person.
In this world, you can break the law, right? And I may not get death if I speed or if I steal or whatever. I may go to jail for some time. But
right. So you wouldn't argue that it's justified that if you are speeding and you get caught, that you should have rocks thrown at you until you're unalived, would you?
Right. Again, what I'm trying to say is it depends on who you're breaking the law against and who you're angering, right? If I did certain things, like look at, for example, Vitali, right? That streamer in the Philippines, right? People would say he didn't do anything too crazy, but he disrespected those people. He's in prison for 15 years or whatever. If that happened in the U.S., that wouldn't happen to us. So it depends on who you're disrespecting.
No, we're talking specifically about a God and Him being disrespected. We don't care about what other people are going. Like that has nothing to do with the scenario we're talking about.
Yes, it does, because I'm talking about authority. God is much higher, right, than a king, much higher than a government.
In your opinion, yeah, but the point of
I'm
the
saying
matter
according to
is
the Bible. I'm not saying my opinion. I'm talking about what the Bible.
I understand that. What I'm saying is, it doesn't make it just right nor worthy of worship to do those things. You're just using divine command theory.
Make it justice.
Wait,
Right.
repeat what you said again. You cut out for me.
So it doesn't make it divine. It doesn't make it true. It doesn't make it just because it's the God.
I think that, again, if it's under context, right? That's why in that same passage, again, that he mentioned in Numbers, that's why, I'm bringing it up, is I'm just focusing on that, is that these are people that, again, knew who he was and had reverence for him. So, again, as an atheist, I don't expect you to, to think that it makes any sense. But if God appeared to you and you prayed and he literally appeared to you and brought you out of a situation, I don't think you're going to on purpose, like a kid, pick up sticks, knowing that you're not supposed to be building a house or whatever. You're not gonna start picking up sticks as if you're gonna do that and just disobey a God who is the Almighty God and doesn't
But
want you to do that. He
but
knew
all you're
that person knew what he
describing,
was doing.
Maybe it never crossed the guy's mind that if I pick up this stick, I'm going to have rocks thrown at me until I'm unalived.
But that's not what the Bible's saying in context. You understand? Before that is showing
It
that
is
if
saying
someone did
that.
something by mistake,
no,
that
all
they
you're
would have
describing,
they would sacrifice an animal, and they would God would forgive that because they
but
didn't know. That's literally what it says right before that. So
right,
this
but
person did not do it by mistake. He did it on purpose to tempt God.
right, but
Different.
all you're describing is a petulant and very honestly childish God. You're not
No, this
describing an
says even if
almighty
you do it
being.
unintentionally, you're going to be unalived. Is what it's
Right,
saying before this.
Say that
right.
again.
This says even if you do it unintentionally, you're going to be unalive. So whether this guy
No,
was
it
doing it
doesn't say that.
intentionally or not,
And
all right,
anyone
let me
that's
read
here
it.
can read Numbers 15.
But if you unintentionally fail to observe all these commandments that the Lord has spoken to Moses, everything that the Lord has commanded you by Moses, from that day the Lord gave commandment and thereafter throughout your generations.
Keep reading.
Then, if it was done unintentionally without knowledge of the congregation, the whole congregation shall offer one young bull for a burnt offering, a pleasing odor to the Lord. So, where is this getting to
Wait,
this
keep
guy
reading.
did
No,
this
keep reading.
unintentionally?
Keep reading.
Keep reading
From where you
after
just
the
were.
bull?
Yeah. No, from
Okay.
where you just were. If it was done unintentionally, keep reading.
Offering a pleasing odor to the Lord, together with its grain offering and its drink offering, according to the ordinance, and one male goat for purification offering.
Yeah, but if you continue, it says that they would be forgiven.
If they
You're
do all
purposely just focusing on,
if they do all of that,
Yeah, so where does it
right,
ever say this guy was caught, found guilty for intentionally picking up sticks, and then God says he's unalive?
that's the
Because
whole
that's not what
that's the
happens
whole
in the
point of the
story.
teaching. The whole point of the
It's not what
teaching,
happens in the story.
the
They
whole
don't
point.
know what's happening here. They have to hold this guy because it's not clear what should be done to him.
Yeah, but the whole point of the teaching is that if you do something unintentionally, right, that God will forgive you. Anyone else can look at that same passage and
No,
read it
he'll forgive
themselves.
you if you got a bull and a goat.
right. He only forgives you under certain conditions after the fact, not just because it was unintentional. It was
Yeah,
because
because
you fulfilled a bunch of shit.
but the reason for that is because
I thought
whether
this
it's
God was
done.
supposed to be loving and merciful, though.
And all powerful. Why does he
Yeah, but
need this
but the thing is,
sacrifice to forgive
when you
you?
sin in this world, even though you're not aware of this, when you sin in this world, you also assign spiritual wickedness onto yourself, and that has to be removed.
Where does it say when you sin you give yourself spiritual wickedness?
Well, you guys can look this stuff up,
No,
just like
no,
you're
I'm
doing this.
asking you where it is. We've read this thing.
I can pull it up. The thing is that if I go onto Google or whatever from here, then it's going to kick me off or whatever. So
No, it's not actually. If you swipe off the app, it's just going to teacup you. It only kicks you off if you're gone for too long.
okay, what I'm saying is, so then you wait for me to look into this? Or?
Yeah, we would love for you to.
Okay, no problem. Give me a moment.
Because to me, all he's describing is a petulant and very honestly a shitty God, because he's punishing people for unintentionally doing things and for doing them, and the punishment never matches the crime.
No.
Or supposed crime, I should say.
Here, we'll just read it real quick. It says, when the Israelites were in the wilderness, they found a man gathering sticks on the Sabbath day. Those who found him gathering sticks brought him to Moses, Aaron, and the whole congregation. They put him in custody because it was not clear what should be done to him. Then the Lord said to Moses, the man shall be put to unalivement. All the congregation shall stone him outside the camp. The whole congregation brought him outside the camp and stoned him to unalivement, just as the Lord commanded. Maybe God could have been like, the guy just picked up a stick. Don't worry about it. Just chop his hands off or something.
Right. If forgiving and loving would do that.
Okay, I'm back.
Probably would have said a better message.
Okay, so actually, there's many verses. Okay, but the verses, right? Since you said you read the Bible, where we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, against principality, against powers, against. We're just skipping over basically into spiritual wickedness in high places, right? So that all has to do with sin. So when you sin, I mean, anyone that's even if you're not a Christian, if you watch movies that has to do with like the 7 deadly sins or anything, right? Basically, sin is basically demonic influence. And anybody knows that, right?
Sin is transgression of the law.
Yes,
It
but
doesn't say anything about demons as far as sin goes in the Bible.
I think okay, even if you spoke to a Satanist or someone who does witchcraft, they'll tell you, of course, like this is
No, they
something
wouldn't.
that is part
No,
of
literally they wouldn't.
sin.
They literally would not.
Of course, they would.
No, they wouldn't.
So you don't believe sin is tied to anything demonic?
No, because sin is only a Christian thing.
No, it's not.
It literally is.
Sin is only a Christian
Sin does
thing.
not exist in any religion except for yours and Islam, which are Abrahamic. And the concept of
And
sin in
so
the third
Jews,
Abrahamic is Judaism, and they don't think of sin the way you all do.
you said
They don't
Jews
have the
don't.
same concept of it as you do.
Who, Jews don't?
No, they don't.
The Jews that I've
Yeah, the
spoken to
wages of
believe
sin
that they
isn't
will
death
burn in hell
in the Old
until
Testament.
they're clean, until
No.
they're found to be pured. That's what I've
You
spoken to
just
Jews
used the
before.
term hell, so I know you didn't
Oh,
talk
yeah.
to Jewish people. They don't believe in hell. Jewish
I
people
definitely
don't
spoke to
believe in hell.
a Jewish person, and as far as I know, they
Then you're
believe in hell.
talking to somebody who's not practicing or doesn't know their own religion, because Jewish people do not believe in hell on average.
That's weird
There's
because
several books in the Old
in their
Testament
books,
that you can. It's obvious they don't believe in an afterlife.
Rabbis and scholars all through our community that we talk to all the time, they don't believe in that.
all right. So wait,
The way,
okay,
yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying.
just
The
sticking.
wages
Okay,
of
so
sin isn't
sticking to the
death in the
topic
Old
because
Testament.
we're bouncing all over the place.
Oh shit.
So about the whole thing about the what you were reading, I would like to finish what you finished, because I mean that's what we're talking about. It seemed like we diverted from that.
Maybe a little.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
So I
got
was
more to
just
say about the
saying.
guy picking up
So
sticks?
yeah, but I'm saying you do agree that right above that, before they stoned that person, that Moses didn't know what to do with at the moment until he inquired with God, that if you
Right.
disobeyed unknowingly, that you would be forgiven, right? Through sacrifice of animals, right? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
according to the context of the Bible, again, right? Now, I'm not opinion or whatever. It just has to do with in the context of what happened throughout that time. God again saved these people. He made them very aware of who he was. They were reverent to him, knowing that he was the reason why they're alive. That at any instant he could take their breath away, right? And this person, still knowing that, disobeyed him. It's different than not knowing something,
So
right?
you're saying he deserved to die because he disobeyed God and picked up a stick?
Yes, I think 100%. If God
How
revealed
is
himself to you and he saved your
So
life,
you don't care about actual justice, do you?
that
What
is
punishment
justice.
fit in the
how
crime?
is that just?
It's not
It's
justice.
just it's just
not even
because
kind of close to justice.
You make your child.
It's evil.
You make your child. They
according to your perspective.
disobey you. Does that mean you get to do horrible, horrible things to them? Is that just?
Dying, you think that dying is the end of everything. That there's
Oh my
but
God, you're about to justify him killing people.
he's the only one that has
Wow,
that power.
that is
God gave you
crazy.
life. You think that you have power over God?
Parents gave me life. Does that mean they're allowed to unalive me?
That's the thing. That's your point of view, that you think they gave you life. It's ultimately God who gives everyone
If
life.
they did not have sex, I would not be here. That is just fact.
Yeah,
So
that's
because
part.
they
Yeah,
did
I mean,
that, and
physically,
because they made
in a
me,
physical sense, yeah.
if they made me,
So do you
does that
think
mean
if
they
God
have the
does
right
it,
to
it's good and
unalive me?
justified no matter what?
Are your parents God? Are they perfect in morality?
Right. That's literally the point. You're talking about an all-powerful, all-knowing being, and you're saying he has to do it this way. Why?
Yeah, but you're not even listening to what you're saying. You're saying
I
that.
am listening
Well,
to
hold
what I'm
on.
saying.
Okay,
I'm the one
so
that said
according
it.
to the Bible, wait, hold on a second. So according to the Bible, God is perfect in morality, yet you're still saying that he's
Where does it claim that God
unjustified.
is perfect in morality? Where does it say God is perfect in morality?
Oh, come
It
on,
says
man.
he makes up the morals. It doesn't say he's perfect in them.
Of course, all throughout the Bible. I mean, why would anybody follow God? Obviously, it's in there that He's perfect in
I
morality.
don't know. I'm
I
trying
have
to
no
figure that
idea because
out.
this God's a psycho.
All the
Right.
commandments.
So
Nah, that's
you
crazy.
think? Hold on a second, Aqua. Do you think all of His laws are perfectly moral?
I think all of His laws are perfectly moral. But
So owning
can
people is
I answer
It's
moral?
one
okay
question
to
at a
own
can I
people's
answer
wait.
one question at a
property
time
and
though?
to sell your daughter into
You're
slavery.
barraging me with questions. So I was just hold on just a second. So he said, why is God just in doing or killing someone? Or why is God just in making any law or whatever? And how is He perfectly moral? God has obviously, according to the Bible I'm talking about, has never sinned. He has never done wrong. Neither has Jesus Christ, right? That's the whole premise of the Bible and why Jesus Christ died for our sins, right? So He is without sin. Yet you're making an accusation against Him as to how could He do this? This is unjust. If He was
Right.
unjust, then He wouldn't be
Yeah, I'm
perfectly
asking
moral.
you if all His laws are perfectly moral, and you said yes. So
Yes.
you would have to also say it's perfectly moral to own people as property, to be able to sell your daughter into slavery, to unalive people for picking up sticks,
And to
to
grape
set
any
people
woman
on
you want.
fire for having sex.
And to grape
Yeah.
any woman
So
you
is all
want.
that perfectly moral?
I agree, yes, but all those things are under context. If you just say it
No,
all like
they're not.
that, then
Okay.
you can make someone look bad, but that doesn't mean that it's wrong.
Hold on. So David's wives that God ordered and brought to be graped for David's sins, you're saying that was moral?
Okay, you should pull up the verse that you're talking about.
Hold on.
All right, but tell me where it is because I would like to look at it also prior.
2 Samuel 21. Or 12, I'm sorry. I said that backwards. I'm Liz Dexick.
Same.
Samuel 12, 11 through 12. God says, I will have your wives brought before the city, basically, and graped before everyone as a punishment.
For what David did.
For what David did.
If anybody didn't notice Godless in the house. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
All right. Thanks for letting me crash. And I'm trying to wait my turn. I'm trying not to dogpile on him.
It's hard.
It's really hard, and I apologize.
It's darn it, Dugald.
You know I can't help it sometimes.
Christian all to himself. That's all right. He'll be back in a second. He'll have read this here. And, it's been cool. I mean, it's talking fun, so hopefully we can keep him on for a while. Don't worry, we'll run the atheist train on him here.
You know what his apologetic's going to be for it, but it's okay.
I think he's came to divine command theory, basically.
Exactly, because he's already pretty much said that.
Yeah. Just got to get him on the straight answer there. Let's, I guess he's reading the whole story there. Probably should, though. That's even better, actually. Who was this one here? Dang it. I hope this other guy's still in the queue. Anyway, the verse we're talking about here says, "Thus says the Lord, I will raise up trouble from against you within your own house, and I will take your wives before your very eyes, or before your eyes, and give them to your neighbor. He shall lie with your wives in broad daylight. For you did it secretly, but I will do this thing before all of Israel and in broad daylight."
Yeah, Aqua, come back to the app real quick just so it doesn't drop you, and then you can go back out again. I just don't want you to time out.
Yeah, I'm here.
Good advice.
I didn't get to read it all.
Did you read that?
I didn't get to read it all, but from what I'm reading, I mean, you're saying that I don't think rape was ever used there, but that basically his wives would be given over to others. So basically, he's losing, things that he had, including his wives.
What do you think it means that he will give his wives away and someone's going to lie with them?
I think that, unfortunately, the wills of others will dominate David in this situation. I don't think that God is he wants harm to be done. Rape was never used there at all.
It literally is. But to lie with them is to lie with them.
Yeah,
What do
to
you think
sleep
that
with
means?
them. To sleep with them. But that doesn't mean it was
So
unwilling.
you think this is
Exactly.
voluntary, even though he says he's going to take them in front of the city?
No, it's okay. Again, I didn't.
I wonder if he meant
I have to say the fucking cope on this one is just so crazy, because essentially what Aqua is saying down there is that, oh no, the wives wanted to cheat on David, and that's exactly what God was saying. He's going to make the wives want to cheat on David with the foreign guys that or the people from his own group that are coming in to punish him. That's
On a
what they
rooftop
want.
in front of everyone.
I think God allows you to fall into your own sin that you decide. Some people fall into homosexuality, right? So they turn against God and they go on podcasts like
but
this.
God is making this happen.
But God doesn't make it happen. He allows people.
He is. He says, "I will take your wives." Who's the "I" there? Who's saying "I'm"?
All right. So what verse are you saying?
It's in verse
Fell
11.
into sin for being gay.
Homosexuality, of
I
course,
think
is
so.
a sin. Of course,
Oh my God.
homosexuality is a sin. What do you want me to lie to you?
Oh, boy. No, we don't want
That's
you to
why.
lie.
That's why you're up here going against everyone about God. Are you not?
Not at all, actually, but okay.
Okay. So you love people following Jesus, who follow commandments that are
I
against
would be fine with
of
it
your
if you all
lifestyle.
kept it to yourselves and stop trying to force it on everybody. I wouldn't give a shit if you all left it at home.
Well, it seems as though you're hurt about something and you want to push people away from God for some reason. I mean, that's the reason, right?
We're hurt that we were all Christians, and then we found out that God does these awful things, and we had to walk away from him because of this awful stuff he does, like having 10 of David's wives raped and unaliving their infant son after making it sick for a week.
Is that true?
So this is God doing this. God
But
says,
is that
"I'm
truly
going
the
to make this
reason
happen."
you guys take things out of context and you're doing it purposely?
It's not. What's out of context?
Not.
Hold on. So what I'm saying is,
What's out of context?
I just want to say that we all struggle with different things, and we all have sinful natures that bring about struggle that we can't get out of, or seems that it's impossible to get out of. I just think that it's wrong.
Sure. So
What
what's out of
context makes it
here?
okay to own people or grape people? What
Again,
context makes that okay?
Again, this person.
What context makes it okay?
Are you going to allow me to answer?
If you answer directly, sure.
So, directly answering you, it doesn't say rape, but that he will give these women over to their neighbors so they can lie with them. Meaning that
He will give them over to the neighbors. Where did the women make a decision there?
yeah, meaning okay, so what this means, right? What it
No,
means.
what does it say?
I understand what it says, but we both have two different interpretations of what it says.
It's not an
right?
interpretation. What do the words say?
It says that he will make them to lie with other women.
Make them to lie.
But what that means is that he would allow them to fall into their lust.
No, it says make, not allow. It says make. Make means to force.
Nah, there's
Where
no
does
force.
it say he will allow?
It's just the way the words are used. That's all. It doesn't mean that.
You're just making shit up now.
So typically,
I'm not.
Typically in Hebrew, whenever they talk about taking women or marrying women, for that matter, it's the word that's actually used for it is seize, like to seize to seize a piece of property. So like when it talks about the men taking the women, it's seizing the women. Tell me, Aqua, whenever you go out to like a bar or you go and you flirt with a girl, do you seize women? Like, do you go out on the street and it's like, I'm going to seize that woman?
This is a straw man argument because you're basing it off of you saying that in
the
Hebrew
language.
typically,
Yeah, totally.
I'm answering you. So you're saying that it's in Hebrew. It typically comes from the word seize. It's not always that. and again, you're nitpicking. You know, that's why it's tough to have these
No,
conversations.
we're
You guys are
using the
saying,
words as they're used. You're implying
no, he's saying
something
it's
different than the
typically
words that
used.
are there.
It goes by interpretation, right? Someone can.
To make does
No,
not mean to allow.
no. So when I say this because I don't have the Hebrew right up in front of me right now, so I can't check it, and so that's why I'm saying, using my knowledge of the scriptures and the Hebrew language, whenever in the Hebrew language it talks about, marrying or taking women, it uses the word for seize. And if I go to my computer right now and I look up this verse specifically in the Hebrew, I bet you I'm going to find seize. Do you want to run with that bet?
I think that there will be multiple words, not just seize, but you will choose seize because it fits your narrative.
Here, I'll do it. I'll look it up. Hold on. We'll look it up
Oh
directly.
yeah,
Look at
I
what the
trust you
Hebrew
to look it
says.
up. You're not against Christians. I mean,
Not against Christians. Again, if you all
so why are
left
you
people alone
here?
with it, I would not say a
He's
word.
using
But you
Okay,
all
so
don't
you're
leave
saying
people
you are
alone.
you are against Christians only because they openly go against you. That's what you're saying.
No, they openly attack people, oppress people, and enslave people. That's a different story.
Okay, so you are against them then, right?
Yeah, if you all left people alone, I wouldn't be.
Yeah, that's why
Okay.
I say no one should be a Christian, because this is dangerous ideologies. You're displaying that because you're defending somebody being unalive for picking up sticks. You're defending grape right now. That's the danger of this religion.
I
That's
just
why
told
no
you
one
it wasn't.
should
It
adhere
isn't
to
rape. I don't
Abrahamic
believe
religion.
that's rape. Allowing
It
someone to
is.
fall into their own
Well, we
lust.
can show you some actual unquestionable grape. You want to see some of that?
You can show me whatever you want. I don't mind. This is good.
Okay. Well, let's do that. Yeah, this is a lot more straightforward here. You can't weasel out of the words here.
I'm not trying to weasel out of anything.
So let's read this.
Okay.
You
So
are.
so I looked it up, and it's laka is the word that's used here for to take, right? And in the lexicon, it literally means like to take, as in to seize. To receive is another one. To acquire,
I've heard people say
to buy.
receive a wife, or I've taken
I
a
don't
wife.
care
That
about
doesn't
hearing.
mean
He's
that
reading
doesn't
from the
mean rape.
lexicon, not people's opinions. The lexicon is saying this. Go ahead.
No, and
Godless.
okay, so he said the word is seize, take, or to receive, right? But
Right.
of course you will choose seize because it sounds dramatic. But
Do
you can
any
also
of
say,
those? Do any
I'm
of those
married
sound
and I've taken a wife. There's nothing
right?
wrong with that.
No. See, that's the internalized misogyny that's talking right there. So, with like,
What?
did you seize your wife? Is that what you did? Did you seize her? Also, in the story
You also
here, I just want to
why is it
read.
that
Let me
you
read.
purposely
Hold on.
keep saying seize when you just said there's two other words that are there that also are receive and to take?
Are
The
either
other
of
two are
them
not better in
okay?
this context.
Oh, buddy. Okay, anything else that you were saying? What were the other verses you wanted to bring up?
Oh, I can bring up one. I got one that I was really wanting you to contend with.
I would like the host to continue, if that's okay.
Yeah, fuck me, obviously.
Sure.
I mean, you've been propagating, these lies, and I rather
No,
focus
no,
on the
no.
host.
So, hey, Aqua, is it okay to grape children?
Why would I agree with something like that?
I don't know. I'm just asking. I'm trying to establish a base
If
here.
you agree with God, you should be agreeing with it.
Nah. Okay, what do you take out of context now? Let's hear. What is it? God wants to rape children. All loving God
No,
who died for you
All
wants
about
to
the
rape children?
context.
No,
That's
no,
what you're
no.
saying?
That's a, I'm just. First of all I asked was a
This is
simple
ridiculous
question.
now.
No. All I asked was a simple question. Do you think it's okay to grape children?
No, I do not.
Okay, good. Do you think that it's a holy and moral act?
No.
No.
To rape children? No, I don't think it's a holy immoral act. No, I don't.
Okay, like no, I don't mean holy as in HOLY. I mean like completely. It's completely immoral to grape.
Okay, either way, no, I don't agree with raping children. Why? Do you? What is this?
No. Okay, so you believe that Jesus is God, right?
Yes.
Okay, God is omnibenevolent,
Yes.
right? He's omniscient too, right?
Yes.
So God, being omniscient and omnibenevolent, he also would agree that child grape is immoral, correct?
Yeah, so you already know where my stance is, okay? So what's your point?
Right. Yeah, no, I'm trying to just establish your theology here. So when we read in Numbers 31, 17 to 18, and God says, unalive all the little boys and unalive all the women that have known a man, but keep for yourselves as war brides the little girls who are still virgins to be raped. What do you think about that?
Okay, you said where is this now?
Numbers 31, 17, and 18.
All right, you have to give me a chance to read again. I have to get off the app, so can I have a moment?
Okay, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Sure.
Of course. This will be fun. He'll obviously deny this one's about. He'll just say they're like saving the little girls as long as they're virgin, like it's for their own good, I suspect.
Well, he's not going to be able to get around what Leviticus says about slavery. So if this don't work, we can always try that.
Oh, well, I got Isaiah 13 ready next. You're not escaping those words.
Well, no,
It uses the word grape.
He's going to come back and say, oh, it doesn't say that they were raped. It just says that they were taken by the Israelites. And it's like,
Right.
yeah, why does it matter that they're virgins? Like, for what purpose are they taken? Are they gonna be allowed to just be single women in the Israelite culture? No, that in fact, later on in the verse after 25, let's like 25, 26, and 27, God specifically divvies up the war brides amongst the men, the warring men, and the other men that are in Israel. So it's going to be interesting how he uses divine command theory on this.
It's always interesting, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Y'all are going to call me Miss Cleo when he comes back and say it doesn't say that they were raped.
Well, I actually like that we went to this one first because I kind of hope he does say that now, because then we're going to move on to actual passages that say the word. Like I said, there's no getting around that. So.
Okay, man. I guess you're right. You must be Miss Cleo, but I think that's because you knew that it didn't say that they were raped. So I mean, of course, I'm going to say they're not getting raped
It
because
does.
it
You
doesn't
just
say
don't
it.
want to admit it.
Why else does
It doesn't say
Okay,
it.
hold on.
No.
Let Godless talk to him there.
So you're trying to tell me you're gonna convince me that if a force goes into a town, unalives everybody in the town except for the virgin girls, like right in front of their eyes. Like, it's not like they're taking them away first and then they're unaliving all their everybody. They're literally unaliving everybody right in front of them, and then they take them as war brides. And I believe it's Deuteronomy 22. Maybe it's 21, 10 to 14.
Okay, hold on a second. Wait, hold on one moment though. But you said that they're taking them as war brides, right?
Yes.
So these are.
Yep.
So in there, does it say exactly that they were taken as war brides? I think
if
that they were.
Yep.
They weren't killed, right? And then maybe in the future they may want to. I would think, right? At some point they're going to want to marry.
In 25, so if you go to 25, you can go off the app for this. If you go to Numbers 31 and you start reading at 25, God literally says that they are divvied up amongst the warring men and the other men of Israel. So it's not like that they're just integrated into the society. They're literally given out as spoils of war. So they're taken as spoils.
Oh wait, what? So where'd you read that from? What are you talking about now?
Starting Numbers 31:25, and you just start reading there.
All right.
Here, I got you. I'll read it real quick,
All right.
just so everybody's clear. It says, the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, you and Eleazar, the priest, and the heads of the ancestral houses of the congregation, make an inventory of the plunder captured, both human and animal. So it's literally calling humans plunder right there.
Yeah, I'm
Captured
pretty
plunder.
sure that's like, it's even outside the Bible. I'm sure that when people go to war, they take spoils of war, and that's how they account for it.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think that's only biblical.
Yeah, they're taking war brides, plunder,
Right.
slaves.
So wait a second.
Yeah, but you
think
guys are
outside-
focusing on this as if this is only biblical. This
No,
happened
you think it's
prior
okay?
to. Yeah.
Do you think it's okay to classify human beings as plunder?
I think that was a term that was used even outside of the Bible.
That was God. Yeah, God should know better, right? If he's omniscient and he's omnibenevolent, it would be
This is in the Bible. You can't justify now the Bible by saying everybody was doing it.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that that's how it was accounted for, and that was a word that was used. I think nowadays maybe we use that word differently.
Why did God use the word?
Because it was used differently at that time. It wasn't seen the way that we see it now, I think.
Wouldn't God communicate it in a way that didn't dehumanize the virgin girls?
Again, that's a word that changed over time, so we see that word differently.
They don't consider men to be
So
plunder.
what's the word
And
now?
God doesn't change.
What was the word before? What did it mean before?
What, plunder?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so I mean, I think before plunder would mean exactly that. Like if you're at war and whatever possessions you gain from that, in
Which
general,
were people.
that's called under plunder, whether they're human or whether it's a
Right.
material thing.
And if the
That-
God says to do it,
But that doesn't. But you using that. What I'm just trying to say is that you're using that as to say that that's dehumanizing of the woman. It's just in general what that means, so they
It
understand.
is.
Okay, if that's what you want to try to make it. Okay, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to explain myself.
This is
but-
child
Words- no,
virgin
look.
plunder in war.
Hey, words don't mean words.
They do.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
No, I mean that's what you're saying right now.
So
is
does
that words
child
don't mean
virgin
words.
war plunder mean anything?
You're trying to tell me
So
to
you're
make
saying that you
was
rather have
allowed.
had them kill the little girls? That's what you're saying? Like, what do you want?
No,
How
I
do
mean,
you
they
want me
They
to answer
unalived
that?
all the other ones.
So for the only woman here, I'd rather be killed than taken by people who killed my entire family, all my friends, my entire way of life, stole me, shaved my head, let me be for a month, and then raped me for the rest of my life. So you
Yeah, but
can fuck
you're
off.
adding a bunch of things that didn't happen. So
No.
He's not.
But, no.
they shaved the little girl's bald and they raped them for the rest of their life. Is that really what happened?
Yes. So
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
that's going to be
Okay.
So can you turn in your Bible to hold on? I gotta look. No, you're fine. It's Deuteronomy. I believe it's 21, 10 to 14.
When you go out to war against your enemies, and the Lord your God hands them over to you, and you take them captive, suppose you see among the captives a beautiful young woman whom you desire and want to marry. And so you bring her to your home in your house, and she shall shave her head, pare her nails, discard her captive's garbs, and remain in your house a full month, mourning her father and mother. After that, you may go into her and be her husband, and she shall be your wife. But if you are not satisfied with her, you shall let her go free, and certainly not sell her for money. You must not
where
treat
did you
her
say
as
you're
a
reading
slave,
this from?
since you
Sorry
have
to interrupt.
dishonored her.
Where were you reading this from?
Deuteronomy 21. Deuteronomy 21. That's verse 10 through 14.
And he tried to say that the word make
Suppose
means
you
to
see
allow. So
among the captives.
No, I was answering
I
Godless
mean, we're
about.
talking about either way. We're talking about captives here, war captives. They cannot consent. You don't get captured in war and then say, "Hey, you cool with coming with us and like marrying us and stuff?" Like that's not how it works.
But
They
you
don't
can't
get
add
to
things
consent.
that haven't been proven.
You are.
understand? You can't just say that. Oh,
We
they
can
can't.
infer.
They
I
didn't add
can't. They
it.
can't
What did
choose
I
What's
add?
happening
if
in
they
the
could choose.
situation in the context?
What did I add?
No, I wasn't talking to you, Godless. I was talking to the host.
No,
Because
I
he
understand.
was
What
saying that
did
a
we
That's what I
add?
was
war
saying.
bride can't choose or someone can't choose. We don't know what happened with
Where's
these
the where's
people in
the
those specific
choice in
times.
Deuteronomy
Yes, we
21?
do know what happened.
No, we don't. We don't
Where's
know
the
what happened.
hold on?
Yes, we
Where's the
do.
choice?
Yes,
Where's
we
the
do.
choice in Deuteronomy 21?
What's the choice in Deuteronomy 21? You're jumping over so many different verses.
No, well, I mean
It's the same thing we was just talking about, though.
You have to remember, you guys
war
are prepared to battle Christians at all times and have multiple verses. Already. I haven't, studied chapter 21.
I'm sorry. Do you not follow along with what is it? 1 Peter something or another, where it says you got to be prepared to defend your faith.
Yeah, I'm here defending it.
Okay.
But at the same time, you guys are also picking very specific verses on purpose. So
Well, no. So
Yeah,
on
because
purpose
there
because
would-
it's contextually important because we were talking about Numbers 31 and them taking war brides. This is the Deuteronomic law that talks about what you are to do when you take a war bride. And in it does not include any kind of consideration for consent. It's all in the context of the man. The man gets to decide whether or not he lets her go after he grapes her.
yeah, but someone just said, I don't know who jumped in. It was, you said a female jumped in here, said that they
Oh my God,
take
that's
their
what it's like.
wives, shave them, and rape them forever or something. Where's that in the Bible?
Right here in in
We just read
Deuteronomy.
2 different passages, yeah.
Right in
Yeah.
Deuteronomy here, it says that the only way that the child is let go is if you are not satisfied with her, like the man is not
Well,
satisfied
what
with
verse?
her.
Can you just show me the verse where they shaved them bald and raped them continuously?
Okay, take this down. I'm gonna say it pretty slow for you. Okay,
Yeah, thank you.
Deuteronomy
Yeah.
21 verses 10 through 14. Do 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 not on TikTok.
We need that Joel song right now, don't we? We need the Joel song where he goes, "It's all about the context. You know, you're taking it out of context." It's the
Let's
Old
claim that, but then they
Testament.
never
We
know the
don't play
context
that shit.
themselves.
Yeah, Casey said hi, by the way.
Okay. So since you guys know the context,
Casey.
right? All right. Since you guys know the context, what's the context of her shaving her head?
There were
Humiliation.
So that's the context.
It's
Yeah,
a way.
So everybody knows she's a captive. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's how you know you don't know what you're talking about, right? Because if you read that has to do with mourning. It literally says it in those verses. The reason why, but even other people, hold on, other people also have shaved their heads all throughout the Bible and the Old Testament. They shave their heads, they rip their clothes off when they mourn. And in those verses, it literally says that it's to mourn her relatives who passed away, her parents. It literally says
passed away. They were murdered.
They didn't pass away either way, right? However they died, they were murdered, killed, whatever you want to say. They died, right?
Hold on.
So it's mourning. It's mourning her parents. That's the reason why she shaved her head. Yes.
Does it say that she shaves her head and clips her nails? Or does it say that they do it? Because if she did it, then yeah, you could get away with that mourning argument. But that she's not the one that does it.
So
all right. So you asked me a question. All right. So I'm answering. So if you read it, it says, "And she shall shave her head." So she will shave her head. That's what it says. So she shall. Yeah. I don't understand why you have to be so vulgar. You could just
pare her nails, discard her captive's garb, and remain in your house a full month mourning her father and mother after that same guy
that's why
just
she's shaving her head. Wow,
them.
You figured it out. That's why she's shaving her head.
Yeah, because
why is
the
that
man,
the part you're focused on?
The man that owns her now.
Because this other woman came in here saying that I wouldn't want to have my head shaved and raped continuously. She's not being raped, and she was shaving her head.
Maybe
she was shaving her head because she was mourning her parents.
You keep skipping over the fingernail
great way of twisting things around, man.
Keep skipping over the fingernails.
Right. So let me read this passage again, and I want you to tell me where the question is given as to whether or not this child wants to be the property of this man. Okay, which is kind of disgusting to actually say.
Like you're trying to flip a God who loves you that doesn't want you to sin into being a mischievous, evil being, and he isn't.
I
don't know how you guys can flip Jesus that everybody knows is to be good to be evil. It doesn't make any sense.
All right, 2 seconds. Let me read something real quick. I just googled why they shave captives' heads in Israel, and this is what it says.
That's not what it says in that particular verse.
All right, hold. Yes, it is. It says the Israelites, like other ancient Near Eastern cultures, used taking of a warrior's head or displaying the heads of enemies, shaving heads, as a powerful symbol of total victory, subjugation, and divine favor, often used to showcase king's strength and demonize foes.
Yeah, but that's talking about men at war, not about little virgin
These were
women.
captives of war. What are you talking about?
No, man, that's talking about men. In this particular, overall, if you're talking about men that you defeat in war, but this man is the verse that you brought. It literally says it in the verse, so I don't know what you guys are arguing about. It literally says why she shaved her head is because she's mourning her parents. It says it right there. Just read it.
No, yeah, right. Let's read it. Okay, so starting in verse 10. When you go out to war against your enemies, and the Lord your God hands them over to you, and you take them captive, Suppose you
Captain.
see among the captives a beautiful woman.
Captain.
Okay,
Which
so
in
now
this
we're talking
partic-
about a beautiful woman, right? Okay.
Well, a woman in this case is any child over 12 and a half years old.
Oh,
That's
so
how they're
now
distinct
you
from.
change it. It's not a beautiful woman. It's a little girl that's 12 years old now, right?
No.
Okay.
What
Nobody's
I'm telling
changing
you,
it. You
I'm
are.
you
It
love
doesn't say that
context,
there,
right?
but let's make
You love
believe it's a little
context?
6-year-old girl now.
Do you love context?
Yeah, I do, because it says a
Okay,
beautiful woman.
good,
A
good.
woman is not
Right.
a 2-year-old girl.
A
or whatever
woman.
you're trying to say.
No. So in Israelite
It
culture
didn't
at
say
this
so.
time, in the Israelite culture at this time, there were 3 different stages for girls. Okay, one was the very young one, and there was another stage that was around like right at 12 and a half, which was generally when they went through a period, their period, they have their cycle, and after that, there were all girls and more adult women were referred to with the same word. So this word "woman" here would include people we would identify as children.
All right,
So
let's just focus on what it
Omaha.
says instead of like trying to like make
going
it.
by what
I
the
know you
culture
want to
says.
make it a
the
child.
fucking context
You
is
are
shit.
fucking
No,
gross,
you're trying to make it
dude.
a
The
child,
word
and
is
it's not a child.
Alma.
It's a
You're
woman,
trying to
that's it.
ignore cultural context
Let's just
of
read
these
what it says.
people
It's a
so
woman.
that you can justify being gross.
You just want to make it a child because you want to make God to be evil.
Okay,
no,
well,
no,
just
no.
make it a
Because
regular woman
look,
then.
God,
Just
you
make it a
can't make
woman.
God evil just because
Just make
he
it a
doesn't
woman
agree
if
with your
that makes it
particular
better to you.
sins.
Just make it a woman. Just make
So-
it a woman if that. If
That's
you
what it
think that sounds
says. It
better
literally
to you.
says
Go ahead.
woman. Okay.
Well, it says
It
woman.
says
I was trying to put it in.
That means a young woman of meritable age. That includes
Okay, all right. So let's
12-year-olds
so
in
let's
this
stick to
cultural
that. Let's stick to the
context.
context. Can we do that?
Right, but at this time, a young woman.
Yeah,
of
we're trying
meritable
to.
All right. Whatever. You want to make her 6 years old? I understand, but just
No,
continue on.
I'm not saying 6. I'm saying like 12 or
So
something.
okay, so
like,
can I ask you something? So why are you so focused on the age? Just because you want to make it a young woman and you want to pull me into something about a little girl being raped, right? That's what it's about.
So the age matters because of the Numbers 31 passage that we brought up, and it was talking about young unmarried girls, which would include the 6-year-old, sure, but it also includes the marriageable ages too. So this would apply.
Okay, so are a
It
woman?
says women, children, and
Okay,
Numbers
so
31.
all right, so it mentions this woman. Okay, if you see a beautiful woman, so continue reading.
Okay, yeah. So if you see among the captives a beautiful woman whom you desire and want to marry or seize, which is in this case it's the same word, seize, and so you bring her home to your house, she shall shave her head, pare her nails, discard her captive's garb, and remain in your house a full month, mourning her father and mother. After that, you may go into her, gross, and be her husband. So there's no like marriage ceremony or anything, right? It's literally graping the person, and that's the way that you marry them, right? Can we
Again,
recognize that?
It's not rape. This is she
Where's
obviously.
the
so
option?
gross.
Where's the question here? Can you give me?
But where does
do you
it
have a
say
functional
that? But
understanding
where
of
does it say
consent?
that she doesn't have an option?
No.
That's the thing.
So can
She's
you
a
please?
captive. Captives can't consent, my man.
Where are you getting that from?
Slaves don't get consent.
He literally read it to you.
Do you
They
know
were
what a
born
slave is?
captives.
It doesn't say that these captives have no consent, and they're just. I'm pretty sure they had the option
You
to
have
just
got
go
to
against
be
Israel
serious.
and be killed.
So
You can't
Aqua,
be
Wow.
serious.
Aqua,
I
do
am
you
serious.
think that whenever captives were taken at this time, do you think that they went up to them and in a very nice Jewish way was like, y'all want to be captives? We've got great food. Come on, y'all want to be captives, right? And then like they're like,
Who
sure, we'll
wants
be
to be a captive?
captives. Do you think that's how it played out?
I don't think anybody wants to be a captive, but I would
Okay,
imagine.
good. That means you're violating consent. God damn. It's really fucking easy, right?
Wait,
And
so
do you think they went in there and
I think
said, "Hey,
you're
ma'am, would
taking
you
it.
like
I
to
think you're
have
taking
sex
it
with
way
me?"
farther than what captive means. I think if you're in a battle,
What does
and you-
captive mean to you?
okay, captive means to me, and I think the majority of people, that if you're in a battle, right, and you lose and you become someone's captain or like prisoner of war, that's it. Like you're
Do they have
subjugated
the
to
option
their
to
law
leave?
or whatever. But that doesn't mean that you just have no say in anything.
No, do you have the option to leave?
What do you mean? What?
Well,
You don't.
Do you
You're a
have the
captive of
option to
war.
leave?
That doesn't strip you of any right of anything.
Yes,
She doesn't
yes, it
have to
does.
be with that person.
What do you have the option to leave as a captive? Do you have an option to leave?
It's either death or following the rules, basically, because you're being
So
poured
no.
into their
The
government.
answer there would be no, right? Like they don't
But
have the option.
But I'm saying it's just like the other woman who jumped in before. She said, "I would rather die." I'm sure that woman could have died if she rather have done that and not wanted to live.
Wow, you are disgusting.
Why is that disgusting?
Wow. So
You're
so
saying
it's
her
either
option was die or be
You're
great.
saying that this is my position, as in
Die or be great.
so-
I
is you're
haven't
saying.
gone to war to make
You
anyone
just
my
said
captive.
she has the option to die or be raped.
I didn't say that.
That's
No,
literally
yeah.
what you just said.
No, I said that she either has a choice to go against them and
No,
die, or to
hold
follow,
on.
or let me finish, or to follow their customs, right? So that means that she's willingly choosing to be with this man.
So hold
Wow.
on. You know what the vibes that I'm getting right now off of this is that you think that if a woman doesn't say no explicitly, then it's okay to have sex with them.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I said. You
That's
could just go by
literally
what
you
I
just
said if you want. You can
Okay,
go by
so
what I
you
said.
just said that she can either go with it, being having sex, or she can be unalived. Those were the
I said
options
that
you
she could
literally
either
just gave us.
no. I said that once they were captive, right? They're being poured into this new governance, so they could either choose to become Jewish, right, and follow their customs and get
Wait,
married at
you
some
think they
point.
were given a conversion option?
I'm sure that if they ran out and were against it, they could take a knife and try to fight for that,
You
or they'd
think
be
they
killed
just
or whatever,
took
right? You
them,
have a
converted
choice.
them, and let them
Everyone
go?
has a choice.
You think they just took them, converted them, and let them go?
I think that, okay, if they're a young person, right, that was allowed to live, that was of, that were virgins at that time, they basically, I would imagine, right, if I was a child or whatever, that you grow up to learn their customs, and over time when you're of age, that, then if that's your choice, yeah, that's how it goes. If I were to go against them, then I would probably be killed. I mean, I'm just you're making this as if I'm the person who made them captive. I didn't make
No,
anybody
I'm
captive.
saying
I didn't do anything to
God
anybody.
did. I'm saying God did. God ordered this,
And it was
God,
definitely great. Let me explain it this way. It straight up says it. It says, "But if you are not satisfied with her, you shall let her go free, and certainly not sell her for money. You must not treat her as a slave, since you have violated her." Do you know what it means to violate her?
Yeah. So it's basically the Bible is saying that that's wrong to violate someone, right?
Oh my
No.
God.
What does violate mean? What was the violation?
To sleep with her without being married is a violation.
Rape.
It's called rape.
Yeah, so if you violate, yeah, I'm against that. So what's your point about
no,
that?
but
Oh my
that's
God.
not what
It's
it
hold on,
said.
but that's
you
a
were saying
different-
it
but that's a
wasn't great
different
this whole
verse.
time.
No.
You just admitted it's great just now.
No,
so
that's
thank
a
you
different. But that's a
finally.
different verse. You're using two
Hold
different.
on,
No, it's
okay,
not. It's
Aqua.
talking about the
It's
same
Deuteronomy
thing.
21.
Aqua. So tell me, I'm going to play out a scenario.
Wait,
here.
hold on, wait 1 second. So I could just have the verse that he said. So what part was the violation part? What verse was that you read?
Oh my
It's
God.
in
14.
verse 13. It all of it's pretty bad, but verse 13 it says, "Discard her captive's guard and remain in your house a full month, mourning her father and mother. After that, you may go into her and be her husband." So the marriage part is the grape.
It's the consummation.
Wait, but in that
And
verse
that
it
is
said,
violating her.
But wait,
You
but
have violated
in that,
her.
all right, the part that I read didn't say violate, but it says that you should not treat her brutally. So why? How is that rape? It's saying that you shouldn't do that.
You don't think grape is brutal?
No, it's saying you shouldn't treat her brutally. It's
Do
saying
you
you shouldn't
think a
do that.
violation? Do you think a violation of bodily autonomy is brutal?
I just, it's like you're not registering what I'm saying. The
You're
part
not
that I
understanding
read,
what we're saying.
the
You're
part that
twisting the words to
I
mean
asked you
things that they don't.
hold on, I asked you the verse, right, to read, and I read it. It doesn't say violate, and it says you
No.
shouldn't treat them brutally.
Some of them might
So,
use a different word.
but okay, so it doesn't say. It says you should not.
So what does
treat
your
them-
version say?
Okay, give me a second because it's gonna.
That's fine. Just read the last sentence in verse 14 there.
This is the most pretzeling I've seen any Christian
It's
do
a-
in
it's
my
gonna
life.
say
It
like
said
violated
it says
or
you shall
dishonored
not
or
treat.
something
The
like
last verse says you shall not treat her brutally. So isn't that the opposite of rape?
No, what's the last sentence of verse
No.
14?
No. So that's after. Hold on. That's after the grape. So all of that, like verse 14, is after she's already been grape.
And I want to
Wait,
point out
so
that
you
word.
believe? Wait, hold on a second. So you're saying that if to have a wife and to sleep with her is rape? Because that's what it says in the verse before. It says that she will be your wife and you will go into her.
If you don't ask somebody or get some kind of enthusiastic consent from somebody to go into them, is that rape?
You have to go through marriage vows to have someone as
Hold
your
on.
wife.
There's no
Now I've got to
marriage
ask.
vow.
What do you
So
think?
how
marriage
did
was?
she become?
What do you think?
Hold on a
marriage,
second. Wait, no,
no. Wait. What do you think marriage was
my
then?
goodness, bro.
What do you think marriage was then? What do you think marriage was?
It's a covenant between a man and a woman and God.
And how did it happen?
You make, I would imagine, as far as I know, you make vows. I don't know how the vows
No,
are done
like
then.
how? What leads to it?
What do you mean? What leads to marriage?
What leads to the man and the woman taking the vows in this civilization, this culture?
It would be consent.
Oh my God!
Jesus Christ! No, so there's no vows that are mentioned here. It literally, if you go back and you read it, it's literally you can go into her and become her husband. So it's the smex and the marriage, they're the same, they're equated.
So he just like a barbarian, he just like grabbed her and raped her, and now you're my wife.
Yeah, because
like, that's how it happened.
They were savages.
Yeah, all right.
Yes. Dude, marriage
Okay.
back then was not a
We're about to get
courtship.
on to some
But
actual
it doesn't
passages
say
and
that, so I
people
just
never
want to
play
go
these
by what the
games
Bible
on.
says instead of just what
Marriage
you
was
guys
not a
wanted to say.
courtship then. It was a business deal, usually between a bridegroom and a bride's father.
Yes,
The woman
but in
never
this
had
case,
consent.
right? But in this case, her parents were dead, so that's why in
Right.
this
So
case
again,
she
she
had
had
to shave her head
even
and mourn
less
her
consent.
parents.
She had even
So-
less consent then.
So I looked up the word.
But
that
that's
you're
why she had
having
to be of
problems with.
age, because when she's of age, a woman, like it said, a beautiful woman, she can give her consent at that point.
Yeah, what's of age in the Israelite culture at this time?
Oh man,
Yeah, this is gonna be a hard one to answer. I know.
it's not a hard one at all.
Yeah, it
isn't
is.
that? I guess at that point it's. I'm not sure. I'm not an Israelite from that time, so I would.
After first bleed.
I don't think you know either, though.
Yes, I do
After first
actually.
bleeding. After
No,
their
yeah.
first
So
bleeding.
actually, I do. There's Victor P. Hamilton in the Anchor Bible Dictionary, the Anchor Bible. He lays out the general culture at this time, and it's recorded by rabbis that discuss it. And 12 to 13-year-old girls were married off to like 18 to 20-year-old boys.
But that's by the consent of their parents, or what?
See, there's a problem there.
Yeah, it's arranged
shouldn't-
marriages. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that parents own the bodily autonomy of their children?
First of all, I don't. A lot of these ways that are from the past or whatever, like because even in movies outside of the Bible where they marry little, young kids.
Does that
like
matter from
I
an
think
eternal God?
I don't. I'm part of the same society that you're part of, so I don't agree with a lot
All
of
right,
those.
okay,
things,
I get it.
right?
Is God eternal?
Yes, God is eternal.
And he's omniscient.
Yes.
So he knows that this is disgusting and he still commands it.
I think that society changes over time. Like I agree with you.
Okay, so
like,
he's not omnipotent now.
What does it have to do with him being all powerful?
Right. I mean, he doesn't he's supposedly all powerful. He can create the universe, but he can't tell some Israelite savages, "Hey, don't grape women." Like that doesn't make fucking sense.
You keep saying rape to make it sound bad, but
It is bad.
But this woman here
Where's
that
there
was
a good
this,
context for that?
look again.
When is that ever good?
I'm not with rape. I don't agree with it, but I'm saying you're saying rape to make it sound bad, but this woman wasn't raped is what I'm saying.
No. So if you do not get
She
enthusiastic
definitely was. That's what
consent,
being violated is.
right?
She
if you do
became
not-
his wife. She was his wife, and then they had sex.
Oh.
That's not rape.
No,
Sorry.
that's literally
That's
not
what it
what it
says. I'm
violated
going by
it.
what the Bible says, not by what you're
No,
saying.
no, you're not going by what the Bible, because here's what it says in the Bible. It says, after that, you may go into her. That's listed first. And then because you went into her, you will be her husband. It's literally just how words work.
You're trying to twist all around them to make it say no. That's not what it's saying. Words mean words. Like what are you doing?
Maybe I'll oblige to that here because I'm not sure, like back then, to be honest, how marriage worked if there were no vows. All I know.
Does that matter to an omnibenevolent, omnipotent, eternal, and unchanging, omniscient God?
Does what matter?
The cultural context.
Of course, culture matters whether something is wrong or right. Yeah,
Well,
because
no. Why is God
because I
limited? Why is God limited to what Israelites would accept? I mean, He divvies out. You would agree.
no, what I'm
I'm
saying.
asking it.
Yeah.
I'm asking it this way, just because I don't want to put words in your mouth. Um, so when God divvies up these commands in the Old Testament, and He expects the Israelites to follow them, right?
Yes.
Okay. When He divvies out the commands for like the shellfish, the not wearing mixed fabric, the keeping a guardrail on your roof, how to keep your beard, and all that, He expects them to keep those commands, correct?
Yes.
Do you think that it is really beyond Him, considering those very minute things, to say, "Hey, don't grape children"?
Again, you're using the word rape, but in those times,
All right,
let's say, hold on, you wanted me to answer. So if because again,
go
I'm
ahead.
part of again, so I'm gonna say this before because you're trying to demonize me here. But the thing is, I agree with you guys up to a certain age. I'm in this. I'm part of the same society, right? There's a lot of things that I don't agree with, like having concubines and multiple wives and stuff like that, right? But those things also happened in the Bible and a lot of these people did things that some things God commanded because of those times. Those things were His law, and those were cultural to those times, and that's different than our society. And other things were sinful, and we're just against God. But anyway, to answer your question, I tried to say before, even outside of the Bible, when we look at kingdoms going against one another, and then they come to a treaty, and they have their daughter marry someone else's son, and they're like 12 years old or whatever. I always found that weird, to be honest. But that's because I'm part of this society that we live in. Back then, I don't think that was so weird. It was like a common thing amongst nations, wasn't it?
I mean, so looking at it from a naturalistic and anthropologic sort of point of view, yes, I can agree with that. But we're trying to do an internal critique of your faith. That's what we're trying to do here. So internal to your faith, your God establishing an institutionalized system where raping children and women is normalized is an immoral thing.
But why do you keep saying raping, though? It's like you're
If you
purposely
not,
saying that, but the Bible doesn't say rape.
That's what. Let's just get to a real point here. So what if I show you some passages where God literally orders the word grape, and it says grape, and there's no denying it?
Yeah, I want you to show me that.
I will.
Then maybe you'll have me
this whole
questioning, and I
time.
can. Then you'll have me questioning why a God that is good is
I
telling
want you
people
to
to rape
question
little
it. So
kids.
you
Yeah, I
don't.
want to see that.
Well, it's not just about little kids, but I'm saying
Or raping anybody.
God,
Raping anybody.
you don't
You
think
shouldn't
there's
rape anybody.
Okay, well, would you say that God doesn't order anywhere in the book to order grape, right? You don't think God would do that?
I don't think that He would. So you would have to show me, and let it be in context and not a manipulation of words or
right.
Absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely.
I got you. Abe's going to bring that up, but I want to establish something before we look at the passage that I think that he's going to bring up here. What do you think the punishment for raping a woman should be?
So again, so I mean,
and keep in mind you can be unalive for picking up sticks.
I would imagine they should die.
Okay.
If they truly raped them, and that's what the context is. If they actually raped this person, yes, they should be killed.
What's the difference between a true rape and a false one?
No, I don't know. I'm just saying beforehand because I don't know what you guys are going to bring up. So
okay, well let's leave the qualifier out of true and let's just go with grape.
What is true rape?
No. I'm saying leave out the true part and it's just grape. You don't have to say true grape. It's just grape. Like the qualifier there makes it a red flag.
His whole being is
No, I'm saying that if it actually is true. If it actually is rape, then that person should be killed.
I don't know why you got to keep qualifying it. Anyways, so I don't know. Abe, I don't know if you've got the verse up.
Oh, I've got it. So when we do in fact show you that God is ordering grape, what will you say then? What's going to be your reply to that?
Again, if that's actually what is said, then that would be wrong. But I would imagine, right? Just going by, okay, because you guys are going to pick this verse that we're going to read, but just going by everything else
Yeah.
that's said in the Bible that's against anything evil and sinful and wrong, I can't understand why that would be in there. So it wouldn't make any sense to me. It would have to be out of context, I would imagine.
Well, all right. I'm going to show you where God orders it on foreign people, and then you say, well, God just did it to them because they were evil foreigners. Then I'm going to show you again where God orders grape on his own people.
God died
It's
for your
going to
sins,
use
but
this
he
word.
also
It's
wants
going
people
to
to
use
rape.
the word grape.
Okay. All right, so let's read. What is it that you bring?
All right, so this is Isaiah chapter 13, and it's the proclamation against Babylon. And if you start reading at verse 15,
to it now,
this is what it says. Yep. It says, whoever is found will be thrust through, and whoever is caught will fall by the sword. Their infants will be dashed to pieces before their very eyes. Their houses will be plundered, and their wives will be raped. See, I am stirring up the Medes against them, who have no regard in silver and do not delight in gold. Their bows will slaughter the young men. They will have no mercy on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes will not pity children. So here in this wonderful little passage, you have some babies getting smashed to pieces and women getting raped on the orders of God.
What verse in that did you read?
That was verse 16. And it literally uses the word grape.
And what verse does it say the word rape?
Verse 16, I just read it. It says their houses will be plundered and their wives will be raped. Oh, yeah. Some versions might say violated there. This one says grape, though. And then we'll get to a different one that says it, too.
Well, yeah, that's interpretation. So, I mean, it's grape. Like, if it's violation, I mean, that's still grape. If you're violating a woman sexually in that case, I mean, that's grape. The translator just didn't want to use the word grape.
Well, mine does say it. I'm reading the NRSV UE.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious if you describe grape but you don't call it grape. I'm wondering if Aqua thinks it's still grape because it kind of
undoubtedly give him a little more wiggle room there word wise, but I mean, like you said, violation's violation. We all know. Well, we all should know what it means. We'll see. And then I got another one after that where he does it to the Israelites. It says the same word. Good Lord, there's 13 people in the queue too.
Saturdays are popular.
Oh yeah, the Sabbath, baby.
I've also got one where it's a direct command from God about what the punishment is for graping a virgin girl. So
it's like 30 shekels or something, isn't it? Sounds like the going rate for virginity violations back then.
Yep.
Okay, I read it. Wait, but this isn't. Am I wrong to say that this isn't a command by God telling them to rape? This is something that he's saying that will happen.
You are wrong. No, God says here in verse 3, it says, I myself have commanded my consecrated ones. I have summoned my warriors, my proudly exulting ones, to execute my anger. Then in verse 6, it says, well, for the day of the Lord is near. It will come like destruction from the Almighty. So all this is direct orders from God. Yeah. No way out of it. We're going to make an atheist today, y'all.
No, yeah, but him saying that he commanded them in the verses way higher up is not saying that he's commanding them to ravage women.
Okay, so
yes,
the Israelites
in that same
he's
passage,
saying that will happen,
I am
but
stirring up the Medes against them.
Okay,
Yeah, so the
so
Verse
Medes,
17
so the
says,
Medes
"See,
will,
I am stirring up the Medes."
yeah, and the Medes aren't God's people. So basically, people who are against God are doing the ravaging, right?
You're going in a
so
direction you ain't gonna like, buddy.
Why? But
God is literally saying in Isaiah, He is using them to execute His will. He says
you see that
in
that's
verse
what I'm
40
saying. That's
or
a
chapter,
fallacy. You see, that's a fallacy. A lot of
it's
people
not a fallacy. It's
misunderstand.
the
wait,
context.
name
It's a
the fallacy.
misunderstanding. It is because
Name the fallacy.
it's that
Nope.
he's not causing them to. He's not forcing them to do it. He's basically allowing these people.
I myself have commanded my consecrated ones. I have summoned my warriors, my proudly exulting ones, to execute my anger. This is a proclamation against Babylon. God is ordering this stuff to happen. And he literally says in chapter 45, he says, they are executing my anger and I arm them, though they did not know me. So he is literally saying, even though they don't know me, I'm
Yeah.
still using them
It's
to
the
execute
same.
my
It's the
will.
same.
It does
Right.
the
It's
same
the same.
thing with Babylon and Jeremiah.
It's the
He's
same way
using
how
them.
it's
He's
the same
making
way
it
how
happen.
God allows demons to torment, to make us go through different situations in order to help us or whatever. He uses demons and the same, and he uses other people
He is
also to come
commanding
against
this
us to bring
done.
us
He
back to
makes
him.
this happen. This is a literal thing.
So
He's not, but I'm saying all I'm saying is he's not commanding anyone to rape anybody. He's saying that's what will happen because you're being
It
subjugated
says,
to like a
I
barbaric people.
myself have commanded.
so
No, it doesn't say.
let's
It says that's in the verses above. Anybody
I
could read
literally
this.
just read it.
so
The part
Yeah,
I'm saying.
that's
Well, hold
you're
on.
talking
Hold on a
about
second.
context. That's what the
Hold
context
on a
says, man.
second.
This is the context of the story. He is ordering this proclamation
So
against
okay.
Babylon.
So does
That
so
is the
so does it
context. That's why I
say?
read this, because you can't escape.
No, I can't. What do you mean? There's nothing to escape. It's not even. This isn't even really much of
Yeah,
an
you
argument.
can't
well,
escape the
so
context.
Aqua.
This
But
isn't
you're
much of an
trying to.
argument because he's saying about
It
God, he's
is.
commanding his people on the verses above, and then at like verse 16 is talking about what would happen to them, about them being ravaged. He's not saying to ravage.
Oh my
Well,
goodness.
okay, so
Wow.
let's say that your whole words doesn't mean words thing.
No,
is
that's not what
a-
I'm saying. I'm saying
it.
he's
it-
saying something
yeah, it is.
completely
It is.
different on the verses above and verse
No,
1
So
through
so
4
let's just give
as opposed to 16. That's what I'm saying.
let's say you're right. Okay, you established prior to this that you think that anybody that grapes a woman should be unalive. What does God do? Does God punish them for doing the graping here?
Punish who for doing the raping?
The Israelites or whoever is in the past.
He's talking about people that are against God, Medes, or that he's using
Right,
them
so
basically
They're
does
not
he-
against God. He's using them. It says
No.
it straight up.
Does
He's
he
using
punish them?
the Medes.
No, yeah, but
Does he
it's the same,
punish them
it's
for the
like the
grape?
same
Yes.
thing when God hardened the heart of Pharaoh, right? People say, "Oh, well, he forced him to do what he did." He's
This is a
basically
pivot.
allowing these people to fall into their own sin.
This is a pivot.
It's not a pivot. I'm
You're
showing
being
you
so
how, in
dishonest right
contrast,
now.
how it's the same thing.
Crazy.
God
you
didn't
wanna just read this whole
order
little
anybody
thing?
to ravage anybody. You can't make that into something else.
No, he
are
definitely
you're
did
just
directly.
lying now, man.
I'm
but-
not
but he
lying. What do you
did- he-
mean?
It says,
He did
I
directly.
myself have commanded my consecrated ones to execute my anger. Well, for the day of the Lord is near. It will come like destruction from the Almighty. So
Yes.
who's this destruction coming from?
Yeah, to destroy them, right? And
So
then hold on.
so if
From
you're
who?
right-
Where is the destruction coming from?
Hold on, it's three of you talking at the same time. So I'm answering you, host, right? So the destruction is coming from
Okay.
God, but him prophesying or saying what's going to happen is not saying that he is for the ravaging of these women and what they will do on their own
It's
accordance. We all
literally
have free
saying
will.
This destruction is
That's like saying
from
you don't
the
have free will.
Almighty.
The
Hold on,
destruction of their nation is by the
can I lay out-
Almighty,
can I lay
but
out
the
a hypothetical?
individual choices that everyone has is different than God's
Aqua,
destruction.
let me lay out a hypothetical for you, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so this is going to be analogous to what we're talking about here. If I go and I get a vicious and murderous grapist, and I take him directly to a preschool, and I let him go inside the preschool, and it's like I'm executing my righteous anger because of whatever reason, and
what kind of person are you, man?
Right, pretty gross, right? So I'm letting him go in there, and he's going to do what he does, right? Am I responsible for that?
Are you responsible for? I think that you're okay. Obviously, you would be responsible for that in that hypothetical situation, and you are wrong for that. Now, let's go back to this
Okay,
about
now
God, right?
God.
I'm going to show you
Do
why.
it for God.
Hold on a
It's
second.
easy.
No. I'm going to show you why it's different. Because I'm going to show you why it's different. Because basically, the Israelites are protected by God, right? Okay. But if they choose to defy
Except
God,
when he
hold on, let me
ravishes
finish.
them.
Let me finish. You asked me something. So they're protected by
Right,
God,
sorry.
and they choose to go against him. So he leaves them. He's no longer protecting them. So whatever happens to them at that point, that's not because God wanted anything. He wanted to protect them. They're his people. But they're choosing to go against him. They don't want them, right? They chose other idols. They chose other gods. So if that's the case, then you get what the other gods bring with them. And all these demons, they bring all this stuff, ravaging of women, evil, all this that you're trying to blame God for is really the demonic things that other nations followed. So
God's not
God
omnipotent
did
then.
destroy them by letting them have their way, but that's not what he wanted.
No, I don't see how this actually answers my hypothetical here.
I don't see how it doesn't.
Because
Well.
so God literally got crazy, insane people to go and attack. Like I don't like it's the exact same thing that.
Well,
I
it's
laid
like the
out
same
for you.
thing, right? That we're talking about
You're
with
just
like,
specially pleading, which is
it's
an
like the
actual
same thing
fallacy.
with heaven and hellfire, right? People say, "Oh, if I go against God, that He's sending me to hell." There's like, you're either following Him, right? And the fact that again, just like I'm sure so many people have told you that Jesus Christ died for our sins, right? That if we believe in Him, right, we're forgiven of our
shit, no,
sins. It's
did
not
he?
that God didn't make us sin, right? We chose to lie, to steal,
God's
to
made
do
this
whatever it is.
happen.
Right. So we have free will, right? To do whatever decisions that we make. So if we don't choose him, we won't go back home to heaven. But you not choosing him isn't him forcing you to go to hell. There is no other option when you die. You either go back
It's still
up
him
to
making
home
all
to
this happen.
heaven, or you fall into the demonization, or it's like basically who you
No,
follow
wait,
on a GPS.
why
Hold on
can't
a
I
second.
just
Let me
walk
give a
off into the
hypothetical.
sunset
Let
forever?
me give an analogy really quick. Right? According to the Bible, basically, right? We know that Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. No one enters to the Father but through him, according to the Bible, right? So if I put on my navigation a GPS when I decide to drive, I'm going home, right? I'm going to get there as long as I follow that narrow way, right? There are many ways that lead to death, right? That seem right to a man, right? But there's one way, right? Jesus Christ that leads to life. So if I keep that GPS on Jesus, right? I'm going to heaven, I will get there. But if at any point I deviate from that, if I say, oh, I want to go to the supermarket now, I want to go somewhere else, I'm not going home. So you have to, again, follow that line. That's the only way to make it. But everybody has these thoughts like, oh, well, God is sending me to hell because I don't know. You have chosen that. You have given up the free gift that he's offered to you. You chose to go there. So how can you be angry with God?
Story, bro. Yeah,
Okay, so
there is no
You're
there's no
saying this
gray
isn't
line
God
between
commanding
light
this
and
stuff.
darkness. What?
Here,
Tell me what the gray
I'm gonna
line
show you how
between light and
dishonest-
darkness is.
Okay,
Is there something
I'm gonna
between
read
light and
you
darkness?
this first, and this is going to show you. Listen, this is going to show you how
Okay, no
dishonest
answer.
you're being right now. You said God wasn't causing this to happen. It says, "I myself have commanded my consecrated ones. I have summoned my warriors, my proudly exulting ones, to execute my anger. Listen, a tumult on the mountains as a great multitude. Listen, an uproar of the kingdoms of the nations gathering together. The Lord of hosts is mustering an army for battle. They come from a distant land, from the ends of the heavens, the Lord, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole earth. Well, for the day of the Lord is near. It will come like destruction from the Almighty. Therefore, all hands will be feeble, and every human heart will melt. They will be terrified. Pangs and agony will seize them. They will be in anguish like a woman in labor. They will look aghast at one another. Their faces will be aflame. See, the day of the Lord is coming, cruel with wrath and fierce anger, to make the earth a desolation and destroy the sinners from it." So you're honestly going to hear all that and tell me God wasn't ordering this stuff to happen?
I agreed with you with that part, but I disagreed with the part about individuals deciding to rape or to do whatever, to thrust through this. Like,
God is making this happen.
he didn't make anyone
There's
rape
no
anybody.
stopping an all-powerful God who's controlling this and making these things take
the
place.
thing that does stop him is his
This
own
isn't
word.
about free will.
It is about free will because He's saying
It's not.
he's
God is
saying
ordering this stuff. The
no.
day of anger of the Lord. The Lord is mustering an army. The Lord's
Yes,
anger is being
I
executed.
agree. I agree with that part. But
And
the
you
part
think this is them using their free will?
I think that both can be right at the same time.
You have got to be kidding me.
You don't think? Oh, so you don't have free will? God made you come up
No.
here and disagree with the Bible?
God doesn't give free will. He violates people's free will constantly. He
Right
makes
now, you
people
have.
do things.
So why doesn't he stop you from doing what you're doing now? If what's it?
Because he's imaginary.
Okay. So you're up here arguing
Yeah.
about imaginary God. So that's what you're angry about, imaginary God?
Yeah, because you're arguing it's real and that it didn't order these things to happen. It's
Okay.
actually
And
quite
so
surreal if
so
you think
so
about
in
it.
those verses, yes, God ordered the destruction of
And
Israel
he
in this
ordered the
case, right?
bashing of babies to pieces in front of their parents and women to be raped, yes. And pregnant women to be ran through with the
Well,
sword.
okay, so the dashing of babies to pieces, and that's a different place, right? You're talking about people that were
It's
completely
right
against.
below what we
So
read.
these
Not a few
in
sentences.
context, I'm pretty sure those people were worshippers of Baal, and they
Nope.
basically what verse wasn't that? You're talking
No,
about the
the actual
dashing of babies
context of
to.
this story is that God uses Babylon to enslave the Israelites, and then he punishes them for having used them to enslave the Israelites, is the way the story reads.
I thought you were talking about the other verse that we read earlier that you just said dashing the babies to pieces that we read.
Yeah, that's in Isaiah. That's the one I read. This is the day of anger of the Lord, the proclamation against Babylon.
Okay.
This is just one of the cities he does
Okay,
this
so
to. He does it to Israel too.
but this whole argument was about God, right? I thought this was about God saying that rape was okay. That's what
He's
this whole I thought
ordering
this whole
it
thing was
done,
about.
so he obviously thinks it's okay sometimes, doesn't he?
Yeah,
No,
it's more. It's
it just
well,
doesn't mean
it's a
that.
mo-
You're trying to force it into that. He destroyed their nation, but that doesn't mean that what the people did was they have free will to do what they are going to do. Now he could prophesy
hold
and
on.
later
So,
on. Hold on.
Aqua.
So hold on a second. So he ordered them to do what they did, right, and to destroy. But then if you read downwards, right, past that, then he basically is prophesying what's going to happen, right? But that doesn't mean
It's a
that
proclamation.
he's basically prophesying what's going to happen.
When
Because it
God
didn't happen yet.
proclaims something against you, he makes it happen. His will be done.
You see
There's
that,
no
and
getting
that's
around
also
it. There's
that's
no
also
free will
that's,
here.
that's also a fallacy. It's like saying if God knows what's
It's
going to happen.
not. It's
Yes,
what
it is. Okay,
says.
I could prove it. So you believe that if God knows your destiny, what's going to happen to you, like he knows you're going to hell, that means that he made it so?
Does he already know it was going to happen?
Yeah, if he knows it's going to happen.
Yeah, he knew it was all going to happen. So there's nothing.
See, and
I can do about
that's
it.
why I would say.
Hold on. Does
Hold
God
on. So
have
let me
a plan?
let me answer him. So why I say it's a fallacy is because despite what someone knows is going to happen, you still have the choice. Like right now, if I ask you a color and you tell me whatever color you decide, if someone knows what you're going to say, that doesn't mean that you didn't have the choice or the thought or anything. That doesn't disprove the other.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
I know what my little 7-year-old daughter is going to do all the time. I know what she's going to do.
We're talking about
I can make a
God.
bet on it, but that doesn't mean that
loved
she didn't have free will.
Esau. God loved Jacob and hated Esau before they were even born. God decides who he's going to love and who he's going to hate, who he's going to harden the heart of.
No,
who's gonna have
but that's
mercy on,
again,
who
it's
he's
a
not gonna have
fallacy. It's
mercy on.
because
He straight
it's
up
because
says all this in Romans 9.
yes, but it's a fallacy. It's because he's outside of time, so
It's
he
not a
knows.
fallacy.
Apostate.
No,
Hold on.
it's a fallacy because
Hold-
he knows what they're going to do, and the things that they do are sinful.
Aqua, do me a favor. Hold on 1 second. All right. You haven't had a mod break in a while. Let me first ask, you've never had me mod for you up until now. So do you want the inappropriate one that might upset some Christians, or do you want the okay one?
You're asking me?
No, I'm asking the host.
Oh, you want to violate me?
Oh,
No,
wait,
I'm
sorry.
not.
Okay.
I
I'm talking
understand.
to you. I'm
I
talking
understand
to the
that you couldn't
host.
prove me wrong, so
I'm
you might want to
talking
kick me
to
out.
the host about a mod announcement. Shut up. God damn.
Oh, he got angry. The gay guy got angry.
Because you won't shut up and listen. I am talking to the host about a mod announcement. I wasn't talking to you. Apostate, do you want an
Yeah.
inappropriate mod announcement or a HR friendly one?
I guess an inappropriate one.
All right. I want all 182 people in here to do a little imagination thought experiment with me. I want you all to pretend like you're an ancient Roman soldier, and in one hand you got a hammer, the other hand you have some nails. Then I want you to pretend like your screen is Jesus, and please start tapping. Make sure we get these shares up over 100 as well if we can. I'd like to see the taps to be 75K here in the next 20 minutes. Let's go.
Thank you, buddy. All right, Aqua,
So-
you can continue with whatever nonsense you were saying there.
Yeah, well, I was just going to ask Aqua a clarifying thing. If I describe every aspect of grape, but I just don't use the word grape, does that mean that it's not grape?
Aqua.
Do. Gotta unmute to talk and be heard.
I invited you to unmute now.
Oh no, do we got a runner? I think he's trying to run.
Oh, hello,
I don't know. He's been here for a while. I wouldn't call him a runner.
Okay, hello. Sorry,
Oh,
what
there
was
you
the,
are.
I was
What's
talking
up,
to my
Doug?
wife and I
Welcome back.
missed. I tried to tell you. What was it
okay.
that you asked?
So yeah, my question is, if I describe grape like in detail, and you know, I describe what everybody would understand as grape, but I just don't use the word grape. Does that make it not grape?
No.
Okay, so as long as it's described as grape, like if you know, no consideration for consent is given, then it's grape.
I mean, so far that hasn't been said.
So
you guys
far
are
that-
taking things out of context. You guys are using other verses that don't belong with another verse.
It's all about the context.
Yeah, it's all about the context.
Gotta
You can't
get
say
into
something is
the
rape.
context.
You can't say something is rape if it isn't. Someone has a wife and they
It
sleep with
uses the
her, and you're
word
saying it's
grape right
rape.
there.
Or you try
Yeah,
to
it
make
literally says grape. That's the word. You want to hear another one?
the verse you read didn't say rape, man.
Yes, it did. I read it to you.
No, it said that. Okay, it said okay. Actually, no. Okay, the last one, yes, had to do with ravaging. Yes, basically raping. Yes, but the only argument that I had, yeah, but the argument that I had was that God didn't command that to happen, and that's where we
Yes,
let off.
he did.
No, he didn't.
Of course he did. I just read you like 6 verses that all say this is God ordering this. He's literally commanded it. It's God's army. It's God's anger being executed. It's a proclamation. It says if God orders something, he is going to make it happen.
No,
it's hard.
that's
it's
literally
hard
the
when you're-
conversation that
when-
we just had. I basically debunked what you just said. So
It's-
I don't know. You want me to
it's
repeat
hard-
what I said
it's hard
again?
when you're-
That's-
It's hard when your God directly commands grape, huh? It's difficult.
It definitely didn't happen, but okay.
Hey,
God is not a
You're-
human
you're
being that he should
basically
lie, nor
taking
a mortal that he
individual
should change
free
his
will
mind. He
choices
has
and
promised.
applying
Will
it to
he
God.
not do it? He has spoken. Will he not fulfill it? Like this verse here is literally saying if God speaks it, it's going to be fulfilled.
Yeah,
It's
the
gonna happen.
destruction of that nation. Yes, and that happened. Now
Exactly. So God
him
ordered grape.
prophesying what would happen to them because they went against God is not saying that he wanted that to happen. I'm sure he wanted them to repent and come back to him. Obviously. But if you're given into your own sin, all types of things happen. When you're given into your own sin, you go into, you go to hell when you die.
If you give into
That's not
your
what he
own sin,
wants.
God has you graped and has babies bashed to pieces. We get it. Yeah.
Yeah, bad things happen when you don't follow God. Just like
God
anyone
makes them
who
happen to you.
sins.
To my divine command theory, we're back to what we were talking about.
I mean, you guys are categorizing my
Yep.
beliefs into little, but I mean, it's just.
So you're saying if God orders it, it's good, right? If God says do this, it's a good order, right?
Yeah. And now in this situation, you're trying to make an order.
so
Hold
you're
on
saying it
one
was
second.
good.
But in this situation,
Divine
you're
it was
command
good that
theory.
making
God
an order
ordered
that
grape
wasn't
and
his.
slavery. It was his. It
That's
literally said it
literally
over
divine
and over.
command
You're
theory.
searching
So,
it
so,
all right now.
so
It's
all right. So
crazy.
show me a verse where it says God says enslave the people. This is my command to make slaves of people.
Oh, Leviticus. He flat out gives you the rules on
Wow.
that you're allowed to have them, that you how
No,
to
you
have
see, that's
them,
a
where to buy
misunderstanding.
them
Again,
from,
it's a
what
lot of
to do.
fallacies in
How is
here.
that a
No, it's not.
misunderstanding?
This is because Paul was taught,
Misunderstandings aren't fallacies, dude.
because misunderstandings are. That's what a fallacy is.
Oh my God!
No,
Just
a
tell me
fallacy is a
what is the
logical
misunderstanding when it's
problem.
deliberately describes chattel slavery and indentured servitude one right after the other? Where
It's
is
like
the misunderstanding?
it's like when Paul, right? It's the same thing, basically what you're saying.
We're not
When
talking
Paul,
about Paul. We're talking about Leviticus. Stick to that.
okay, it's the same thing. It's
I don't care.
describing.
Stick to Leviticus. Wherein it says you may buy slaves from the nations around you and the foreigners with it that live within your land. And when it tells you how to acquire them, how long you can have various peoples, Israelites get released at Jubilee, people, foreigners and others, you can keep for life and pass down to your children as property.
Yeah, so this is talking about laws back then, right? But obviously, if you continue reading the Bible and you don't want to just stick to Leviticus, right? If you read everything, but
The
you want
point
to
is the
focus on
God still
that,
said it was fine.
so no. So if you obviously God doesn't want there to be slaves, He wants people
Then
to
why
be
did he
free.
say it was okay to do
He
it and
says
how
it's
to do
okay.
it?
No, because these are laws at the time, like
It does no. These were
That
God's
God gave.
laws, not anybody, not man's laws. God's laws. So if it's God's laws, then why would He be okay with it and tell you how to do it if He was not okay with it?
I think, right? So these are the slaves that you're talking about, the people that are captives, basically. How do you become a slave? So let's go into that, right?
It
How do you become
says
a
right
slave?
there in Leviticus, you may get your slaves from the nations around you or from foreigners that live within your land. You may own them as property and pass them down to your children as inheritance.
Okay,
Okay, that's chattel slavery.
that's what
God
slavery?
commanded that. That's one of His laws. So, how do you reconcile a God who doesn't want slavery to say it's okay and then tell them how they can do it?
What I'm saying is that I don't. This is not God's intention for us to be slaves.
Then why would He be okay with it and make it law?
Because I think this is a custom of things that were happening at that time.
No, He is the one commanding it. It doesn't matter what the customs are at the time. He is the one giving the law. So if He is giving the law and you're telling me He's not okay with it, why would He give a law?
Again, it's based on the society and what was
So
happening at
God
the
was
time.
okay with it just because people back then were okay with it? So God's not all powerful and can't tell His people what to do?
He can.
I mean, He told them not to eat
Can he say
shellfish or
don't
mix
own people if he
fabrics.
don't
And,
want people to own people?
yeah, He told people how to like give offerings and sacrifices and all this, and how to go unalive a whole bunch of people. Why couldn't He tell people not to own people?
I think as far as I know, because this would probably be the hardest topic for me to answer with you guys, to be honest with you, just being very transparent. I'm not sure if slavery was the same as we're talking about
It's literally the same. It describes it. Own them as property and pass them down to their children as inheritance.
I understand, but I'm saying the way they were treated, like
They
when
were
we look
treated
at,
just like slaves were in any time they've ever had slaves.
nah, I
ever.
don't think so.
No, they
because
literally were. You're allowed to beat them so long as they don't
Says it.
die. Just so long
Says
as they don't
these you may
die.
treat as slaves.
Yeah, and you may treat as slaves. It's explicit in how it tells you to treat slaves. Like it says, you can beat the hell out of them as long as they do not die.
Wait, so what verse again? So about beating them until they don't die and all this. I mean,
Hold on.
with this, they probably got me the best with this because honestly, with this whole slavery thing, I'm not a fan of it, or do I know exactly the customs?
I can't believe this is the got you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
because I mean,
This is why I
there's
wanted to
something
start
I know
with
more
this.
about than I'm a man like you, man.
can you define
That's why I
chattel
wanted to start
slavery?
with this one.
Yeah, you should have, I guess.
Can you define chattel slavery
Yes.
for us?
Can I define what?
Chattel slavery.
Chattel slavery? No, actually, I was going to ask him what's chattel. I was actually going to ask him that. I didn't understand what he meant.
Okay, chattel is like livestock. That kind
Movable
of
property.
Yeah.
Oh, chattel, so it's like cattle, basically.
No.
No.
Chattel.
It sounds like it, but that's not what it is.
Yeah, I've never heard that before. Okay, chattel.
Yeah, that's
Words are hard. I get it.
Yeah, words are hard.
it's Exodus 21 where he describes that how you're allowed to beat your slave.
Okay, wait. So where are we reading from?
Exodus 21 is where it tells you how to beat your slave.
Exodus 21?
Yes.
Yeah, it also says in Exodus 21, when a man sells his daughter as a slave, she shall not go out as the male slaves do.
Which is a whole other story.
So Exodus 21, and what verse are we reading?
I think it's 20.
21.
Oh, 20 and 21, yeah. It says, when a slave owner strikes a male or female slave with a rod and the slave dies immediately, the owner shall be punished. But if the slave survives a day or two, there is no punishment, for the slave is the owner's property.
You read 21?
20 and 21. In chapter 21 of Exodus.
So Exodus 21, 20 through 21.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be honest with this. Yeah, someone else that has a better understanding of this whole slavery thing would be a better person to ask for that question. I can't answer something that I'm not sure of.
Well, man, what's to understand? Say
I
you
mean,
beat the shit out
I'm
of
sure.
your slave as long as they don't die.
All right, man. All right.
I mean, there's no. It's very obvious there.
I just know. Look, I just know that God wants the best for people. So for this to be,
How is slavery the best for people?
I don't. Again, I don't think that's something that God wants.
Well, I mean, he's describing how to do it, when to do it, and why to do it. Like, what do you mean?
He doesn't not want it.
Right, he doesn't not want it. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, so if God wanted what's the best for people, in 1 Samuel 15, 1 through 3, God wouldn't say to unalive children and babies.
Okay, you know what? So how about this? Because obviously, you know, I don't believe that. But okay, so let's say we don't believe in the Bible. Hold on. So let's just get to what you guys want, right? So if I become an atheist, right? I don't believe in God anymore.
Not what we want.
Okay, but let's say I did, or I'm
That's
like
what
you.
I want, though.
That's what he wants, or whatever. Or if, you know, like, so what is good about that? If I'm living, I'm living in lawlessness.
Well, it's not lawlessness.
You've acknowledged the
People
truth
have
and
laws.
said this God is awful at that point. You don't have to defend.
So is
like
it wait?
slavery
But to your
and
standards
rape
or
and
whatever. So this is
baby bashing anymore.
Hold on. So if there's no objective morality anymore, so it's okay to lie, to steal, to.
There never was any objective morality.
You all don't have it. If you all had it, it would be the same for all of you. And some of y'all diddle kids. Some of y'all murder people too. Like, it's not the same.
Yeah, and they will get punished.
Then it's not objective.
If y'all actually had
It is
objective morals,
objective.
you would be calling God out. He would be the worst one.
So wait, so you guys don't think there's anything spiritual? Everything is just physical.
Yeah, it's chemical, physical,
I think so. I
and
can't speak for everybody.
No, I'm saying, what do you think?
I think it's just chemical. I think we're all atoms. The whole universe is just atoms.
So what? Okay, so what about your thoughts that happen in your mind? What are they?
That's our brain. That's what it does.
Yeah, but the thought itself, right? The thought itself is intangible.
Electrical impulses and chemical reactions in the brain.
Well, that's proof. Well, that's proof of the fact that you have thoughts, but the thought itself is intangible. So where does that fit?
Well, listen, I feel like getting into deep neurological science here on brain chemistry and consciousness.
Way over the head.
Yeah, I feel like the fact that you can't understand words, it already is going to be hindering.
I don't understand words. This guy keeps saying rape when there's no rape in the Bible.
Well, because you don't want to see it because it hurts your feelings.
No. But not that God commanded it. He's saying that's what would happen if you disobeyed him.
Literally said, "I'm commanding it." Like,
no, it doesn't say that.
Those exact words.
No,
that's why
we're
saying we know you don't understand what words are, but
no, you're lying, bro.
Yeah, okay.
He read one verse.
No, I'm not. I myself have
4.
commanded my consecrated ones. I have summoned my warriors, my proudly exalting ones, to execute my anger. I have commanded them to execute my anger.
Yeah,
you're lying.
That's true, but I agreed with that. But then
you just said that he didn't.
It didn't sound like it.
No, because it's talking about the destruction of their nation, right? That's what it's saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he outlined
but that
what that
doesn't
destruction
dismiss.
would look like.
But that doesn't dismiss the fact that you have free will.
He outlined what that destruction would look like, and then they did it. How are you going to say that an all-powerful God made a command, described what those commands were going to be, those people did it, and then say those people didn't do it?
Again, I didn't say that they
Yeah,
didn't
God
do
commanded
it.
a flood.
No,
Was
no,
the
no.
water
I said
That
that
he
the water
didn't.
used
That they didn't
free
do it
will
because
to
of him.
flood the
he
earth?
led them. He led them to their destruction, allowing that to happen for them to be destroyed.
He
Since they were no
says he
longer.
commanded it, not allowed.
He commanded it to happen. It was a proclamation against Babylon.
Okay.
The Lord proclaimed. The Lord
That's
did.
fine. That's fine.
That's not an allowance.
Okay, then. Thank you.
Yeah, that's not an
No, what I'm
allowance.
saying is, but by the way that he did it was all right. So yes, he commanded it. The way that he did it was by no longer protecting them. So he was no longer their shield.
No,
So
he
whatever.
commanded it. He didn't say I'm a step away. He didn't say I'm gonna allow it. He said I am commanding it to happen.
Again, and that's why context is necessary, because these were God's people who were protect. Hold on,
I'm so
you
tired
guys
of
don't.
this ingenuity.
Hold on a second. But these same people that you're saying that this happened to, right, are God's people who were protected by Him.
So why does that make
Babylon
it right?
was not God's people.
Why would
What do you
that
mean?
make it okay?
What do you mean that doesn't? How does that not make it okay? I'm not saying that raping people is okay. What I'm
What do you
saying
mean?
is,
What do I mean?
if nobody, again, if you're not protected by God and something bad happens to you, you can't blame it on God. That's what I'm saying.
He commanded it to happen.
Their destruction.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my God.
All
Okay.
the things
What
he
is-
commands,
I
he
can't.
does.
This is crazy.
Because what I'm saying is
So
he
you-
allows evil to happen to people that aren't
Crazy.
protected by him.
He commands it.
Right. So Aqua, you think that the destruction doesn't encompass the actual actions of the destruction?
What I'm saying is that the destruction that he commanded to happen, right? And then his prophecy of things that will happen to them because of their destruction.
How is it a prophecy?
Because he's saying, because later on in the other verses, which he didn't read, where it happens with the ravaging of their people and all that, those are things that will happen in the future, basically. It didn't happen yet.
Because he's fucking commanding it to happen. You
He was
fucking
telling
brick
me what he
wall.
was telling them. Like if I have a
It's like they don't
group of-
understand.
if I own if I'm a mob boss, right? If I'm a mob boss and I have a bunch of guys, right, that I want to have undone because they turned against me, right? And I pay some other guys to undo them all, right? Destroy them all, like because they turned against me. And I outline what that looks like. Hey, if y'all want to go over there and bash some babies on some rocks, if y'all want to tear some babies up,
That's
if y'all
crazy.
want to grape some people, go ahead. You do all that. Go ahead, do all that. That's fine. Just make sure you destroy them. Is it not me telling them to go do that?
I think, again, he ordered the destruction, right? But it
outlined how to do it when he commanded it.
he didn't outline. He didn't tell.
Cognitive dissonance
He
is-
didn't
it's
force
crazy.
these people
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Again,
He did. Thus says the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, I am now bringing upon this city and upon all of its towns all the disasters that I have pronounced against it, because they have stiffened their necks, refusing to hear my words. He's
Yes.
literally making this happen. Like, you're not getting out of it. Like,
You're just trying to because it hurts your feelings, and I don't know why.
It doesn't. Why would it hurt my feelings?
Because you're trying so hard to get out of it when it clearly says what it says.
I'm not getting
I
out of
think it's
anything.
so
I'm telling
cognitive
you what the
dissonance, they
Bible
don't really
says.
realize what it says.
I'm agreeing with
We're
the
telling
fact
you
that,
what it says, and you're
No.
trying to tell us it's not saying that.
I'm
If it
agreeing
says
with the
God
fact that they're
commanded,
destroyed.
when
but
we
You're trying to
say
have your cake and eat it too, is what
right,
you're doing.
when it
what I'm
says
saying is,
I
that these were
commanded, you're
people
trying to
that-
tell us it means to allow. Command is not an allowance. Command is a command. And when he says, I am
God
commanding this
commands
to
the
happen,
waters to flood the earth.
right, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
says how to make it happen, that is
Yeah.
a command. That
Okay.
is not an allowance. That's not a maybe they will, maybe they won't. They have free will. That is a command.
All right. So destroying their nation, right, would mean that they no longer would be a people, right? That they don't have their
You have a
government,
lot of
that they
people in the
have all
box,
these
by the
things.
way, still.
Now, if things happen after they're destroyed,
Just
and
let
other
me
bad,
know.
if other bad things happen, that doesn't necessarily. You're trying to blame it on God, and it's not the case. That's all.
Well, shit. I'm actually going to have to end in about 10 minutes here anyway.
Like this has
Hey,
been
in
nuts.
fact, you
Because
know
because
what?
they were destroyed, then these bad things happened to them afterwards, where they were
Is
raped
there
and all this other stuff.
is there a way we could get like a safety check on Aqua's wife? Like I
Right?
feel for her safety right now.
That's
Hey, babe,
crazy.
hey,
Oh,
talk.
I'm blessed. Thank you.
She's blessed.
Oh,
That's
man.
really crazy.
You know, that's
That is,
Stockholm
We have a
syndrome
happy
to
life,
some
that's
man. I don't
crazy.
know. You
That's
guys are
crazy.
trying to make God a
That is
rapist. Meanwhile, he died for
crazy.
your sins and he wants you
He
to
didn't
have
die
eternal
for our
life.
sins. You ain't proved he's real.
Stockholm syndrome's a motherfucker, huh?
Right. God damn.
These guys are struggling with believing in God.
We're not struggling with it
Oh
at all. We're
no,
quite
Yeah, I
aware of
tried.
what's
I
going on.
don't struggle at
Is that they
all.
Yeah.
struggle with sin, so it's hard.
We're not struggling with sin. I
I
don't
don't
sin. I
believe
don't
in
Of
believe in
course
your
you are.
God.
Of course you are, bro.
What sin
None of
am I
us here.
struggling with?
No, we're proud sinners.
You don't
If
struggle
we're
with
actually
sin?
sinning and
No, I
sinning
don't
is
sin. I don't believe
transgression
in
of
your
the
God. I
law, then
don't
we're
sin.
proud of that.
Yeah, okay. All
I'm
right,
not
that's
under your
fine.
God's covenant. I don't care.
All right, well, I hope at some point you guys do find Jesus.
No,
And,
thank you.
you know, God,
Well,
God
we
isn't
hope you
evil
join us
or
in
anything,
reality
and
and quit
Your God's
whatever
a
believing
happened to
this
monster.
you in
evil
your
ass
Your
past,
God's a
psychotic
monster and a
narcissistic
rapist. I have
God.
no
no,
interest. Thank
he can
you.
help you, man, if you
He's a
actually
monster
call on
and a
him.
rapist. He can't help
I'm
anybody.
sorry for whatever happened to you.
Nothing happened to me.
It
It's
wasn't your
just your
fault.
God's a monster. That's all. Nothing happened to
Okay,
me. Your
man.
God's just a dick.
Okay, I'm sorry that
You
you
don't
feel that
worship
way, man.
baby
Well,
bashing
God is
Greco
Well, tell him
love,
not
gods.
to be a dick, and I
though.
wouldn't feel that way.
He died on the cross for you.
If he were real, tell him not to be a dick, and then
There's
maybe
way
I
better
would.
gods
Everyone
than
knows
this one,
everyone
man.
knows he's real. That's why we're having this
No, he's
conversation.
not real. You're
So
just
why are you here
pretending
arguing if he's not real?
because you all treat everybody
Because
badly
you
as a
think he
result
is,
of
and you're
it.
defending this
But
awful
we know
shit.
that Jesus Christ existed. We
We
know
have
that he
to
died
deal
on the
with his
cross.
book club.
That's
That's why we
that's
talk
history.
about it. We
That's
have to deal
We
history.
with the
don't know
book club.
that.
That's why we talk about it. His book club makes everybody miserable. That's why we talk about it.
Yeah, hey,
What?
Aqua, I
We're
would
trying to help
love
you.
it.
So you don't accept that Jesus Christ was a man that was on earth? You don't believe that?
I mean, I don't.
There's not a lot of evidence for it, so no, I'm not really on board with it.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
funny
I was
because
gonna.
like you know why I say that? Because in school we learn about, let's say, like Socrates, right?
Right, we have
learn
evidence for those people. We don't have
Yeah, but
evidence for Jesus.
there's much less evidence.
There's
No.
no evidence for Jesus. We have evidence for all the others.
No,
Yeah,
there's
Socrates. We have writings from
wow. Yeah,
Socrates'
he doesn't know what he's
students
talking
that
about.
talk about Socrates
No,
and everything
you
like
don't.
that.
There's many
What
proofs of the
evidence?
fact that Jesus Christ.
What
Even
evidence?
you could even just look at the
What
fact
evidence?
of time itself was named after Jesus, right?
No, it
No,
wasn't.
BC
so
and
that
By
was
that
AD.
logic, you worship Odin and Thor because Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, all the days of the week are named after them and have
No,
been
no
for a
one
long time.
follows
That's really
that.
ridiculous.
No one follows or believes that because it's not true. But people know
no,
about
no.
BC and AD
Yeah,
because it's
You're
true.
saying
no.
that people were not
No.
worshipers of the Norse gods?
I couldn't hear what you said.
People don't worship the Norse gods and never did?
I said maybe at some point, but overall, right? We're
do you
talking
know?
overall. People know that it's not true.
No,
No,
hold
they
on.
don't.
So, do you
Of course
understand
I
that?
do.
Do you understand who created the Gregorian calendar?
I think that was during the time of Constantine, wasn't it?
No.
It's Pope Gregory.
Pope Gregory?
Right.
Okay.
So a
The
man
like
made it up.
13th.
Nearly 500
A
years
man.
after Jesus.
Yeah, a man made it up, not your God.
Wait, so what's your
That
point
doesn't
by
make it
saying about the
true.
so what's the point of mentioning the calendar?
I don't know. Why the fuck did you mention the calendar?
Right,
That's
you're
a
the one that
dumb
brought it
fucking
up.
argument.
You did.
Okay. Well, I mean that is that's something that people
Doesn't
can
make
be
it true.
That just proves it even more.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't prove anything.
No,
It just means a
doesn't.
pope made it the calendar.
That means that during up until that
500
even it
years
means the
after
way I see it
Jesus.
is that even up until that point, people recognize who Jesus Christ
No,
was.
they only recognized it because the Pope said to, and he was the commander of a lot of things because of Christianity
Come
was
on.
spread by violence and indoctrination and colonization.
There were many people who believed in Jesus
Because
before
they were forced
Catholicism.
to. Over
No.
centuries, they were all forced to. Y'all wiped out whole civilizations and cultures to spread this bullshit.
So you don't believe. Let's just get to the nitty gritty, man. So you don't believe there's a God at all. So how are
No.
you here? So how did humanity
My
begin?
parents fucked.
No, how did humanity begin?
Their parents fucked.
Okay, so where did the first human come from?
Their parents fucked.
We're all monkeys.
The first
man. We're a
human?
bunch of monkeys. The
Yes.
monkey fucking.
The first human, they had parents?
There was no first human. You don't know how evolution works.
Oh, so you believe in evolution.
I don't
Accept
believe in it. It's
evolution.
mountains of evidence truth.
It's by definition is a theory.
No, oh my God!
No,
I
no,
really wish you all would learn what
By
words
definition,
mean.
it's an evolutionary theory. What do you
You
mean?
all
It's
need to
not?
learn
no,
what
no.
the
A
fuck words mean.
scientific
What?
theory.
Yeah. What? Can you define for me what a scientific theory is, there, Aqua?
It's something that a theory in general is something that
says it
can't be
can't.
objectively
No.
That's a
Scientific
theory
theory.
in general. He asked for a scientific theory.
Just
What
a
is a
theory is something that
scientific
can't be
theory?
objectively proven.
No, that is not what a scientific
Science.
theory is.
Hold on. So I'm answering. If okay, so science is something that you can test
Not
and
break
retest.
down the two words. What is specifically a scientific theory? Not what is science and what is theory. What is a scientific theory?
Okay. So as far as I understand, a scientific theory is basically like a proclamation made based on the evidence
No.
that you have. Right? It's not
No,
something that can be proven 100%.
no,
Okay, so what's
no.
a
I got the
theory? What's a
definition pulled
scientific
up
theory?
here.
Tell me.
Here, I pulled the definition up. It says a
Yeah, because you're
scientific
pulling the
theory
definition.
is a well substantiated. Listen. It says a scientific theory is a well substantiated, comprehensive explanation of some aspect of the natural world, built on a body of facts and evidence repeatedly confirmed through observation and experimentation, distinguishing it from mere guess or hypothesis.
Yeah, there's evidences for it. That's why it's allowed to be a theory, but it's
Facts
not a
and
That is
evidence.
facts.
but it's not a
Facts.
one.
It's a body of facts.
Series of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like
and-
the
and-
entirety
you're
of
not gonna,
medicine
you're
and
not gonna make me
biology.
believe that a
The
scientific
entirety
theory
of
is a fact.
medicine and the entirety of medicine and
It-
biology is built on the fact that evolution is true. That is how we get to advancements in it. If it is not true, then we would not have the medicine and biology that we have and know.
That doesn't even make any sense.
How does it not make
so-
sense?
So
So
you're saying that
scientific-
As
medicines,
a Christian.
so medicines have to do with the origin of.
Yes, because they have
Everything?
to understand how things evolve and change, including viruses, genes, all of
Nah,
these
that
things.
No.
How do you not understand this? You all
I
gotta
understand
go
what
past
you're
10th grade
saying, but it's
goddamn
not true.
science. You
The-
all
the
gotta go
origins-
past 10th
It
grade
is true.
science and learn a thing.
Dugald, he doesn't understand words.
Clearly
I know.
not.
I don't understand
Like,
words.
God
You guys are
damn.
like trying to force God to be a rapist and
No,
all these things.
no,
and the
we're
words
not.
aren't
He
there.
Literally
You
is
guys
on
don't have the
himself.
words.
He
Just
doesn't
reading
need.
the book. The word
doesn't
is
need us
there.
to
You're just
try.
lying
He's
again.
saying I don't have the words, but I literally
He doesn't
read the
need
word
us
of
to
God.
try. He does that all on his own. He doesn't
Liars
need
go
us
to the
to
lake
try.
of fire, Aqua.
Yeah, they do. So you should stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
No,
Because
you should
you haven't
stop
brought up a
because we
point.
just read your book and it says the words we said it said in the context we said it was, and now
No.
you're just lying and say we're just trying
No.
to make God a rapist. Like obviously he's ordering this stuff.
No. What happened was I got jumped by atheists that don't know what they're talking about.
Jumped because you don't know words? Okay.
Three of you asked me like 3 questions at a time. I
And
tried
you
my
answered
best.
every one of them wrong.
According
We've been
to
talking
what you
for like
believe,
2
because you're a
hours
sinner
now.
that doesn't want to acknowledge God's word.
No, but it's
Are
not
you
about
not
not
weird? The word
acknowledging
order
it.
great.
We just
Obviously,
understand the
bashing?
words.
But
Like, we're good,
Dugald
dude.
is obviously upset because people
No,
call
I'm
him a
just sick of
sinner.
the
He said it
book club
himself.
being dicks to people. That's all.
But calling you a sinner is not being,
I
negative.
didn't
Like,
say
Well, we
you were.
found it
Did I
a
say
little
that's what
appalling
it
that
was?
people
Yeah, if he
come
doesn't
up here
believe
and
it, he's
defend
here
baby
fighting
bashing
for no
and
reason.
rape.
I don't believe it's nonsense. Why does it bother you?
Because we have to deal with the book club. You all put it in laws and schools, on billboards, knock on people's doors, interact with people every day with it. We do talk about it because we have to deal with the book club.
majority
If the book club stayed if the book club shut the fuck up and kept it out of laws and schools, you wouldn't hear a peep out of any atheist.
Yo, man, I don't bother. Hold on, I don't bother any homosexuals or atheists.
Did
or
I
anything.
say you did specifically? No, but your religion and a lot of people within it do, and you all don't do shit about it. So therefore, yes, you do.
Right now, the government is pretty much going, I guess,
No,
the
the
way that you
government
would
is-
want it to go, isn't it?
No, the government is being Christian nationalist right now. So no, I have
What
no
do you
interest.
mean? Yo, men.
What do you mean?
Men,
What do I mean?
literally,
Do
hold
you
on a
not
second.
Pay attention
So hold
to
on,
shit
hold on.
beyond your little bubble. What are you
So-
fucking talking about? What do I
So
mean?
men can go into bathrooms right now as long as they
no,
say that
men
they're
are
a
not
woman.
going into bathrooms.
No,
They can. Are you
hold on.
kidding me?
We're not going to
This-
start
this-
with your
Now you're
transphobia
lying.
and your
Hold on.
bigotry. We're not
Hold
going
on,
to do your
hold on.
bigotry and transphobia. We're not
Right,
doing
right.
it.
Yeah, this is definitely transphobia. But so Aqua, you
Transphobia?
You think that men before couldn't go into women's bathrooms? Like men just
Yeah.
were never
And
arrested
when,
for?
yeah,
No, I'm
when did
saying
men
that-
ever-
no,
when
that's
did
not
men
what I
ever
mean.
need
What
to
I'm-
dress up to
what
grape
I'm
a
saying
woman? When
is-
did men ever need to dress up to grape a woman?
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is by the government, it's a law that if someone says that they're a woman, despite the fact that they're a man, they can walk into.
That's
I'm
not
sorry.
what the law says. Where does
I'm
any law
sorry.
say that?
What are you talking about? So-
2022
okay,
called.
so
They want
even
their
in-
reality back.
Anywhere in public, right? I work at a hospital. In a hospital, there's paperwork that's taped onto the wall When you walk into a bathroom and it says, according to the person's identity of what gender they are, they can walk into whatever bathroom they say they can.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
That's not a federal thing. That would be local, either
The law.
local to your state government, or local to your city, or local to your hospital. So
Right.
like,
Well, overall,
Show us
policy.
that's a law. That's not.
No, it's not a
just your
policy,
hospital
it's a law.
Where's it a law?
what's the
at?
law?
It's a policy. You don't know the difference in a law and a policy.
I'm sure it's a law because it says law on it, unless
Dude,
they
do
lie.
you not know words? Go read a book.
I'm
God
talking about the
damn.
paper that I read.
Go read a
said that's in
fucking
front of
book.
the bathroom. What are you
All right,
talking about?
everybody, hold
sake.
on. Everybody. Let's hold on, everybody. Okay, so I'm actually about to have to jump off here. Aqua, you talked to
No
us a
problem,
long
man.
time,
Take care, man.
and
I hope you guys find Jesus.
I
God
really
bless
do
you guys.
appreciate you coming up,
All
man.
right, come
You're
to
pretty
Jesus.
cool.
No problem.
We hope you
God
find
bless you guys.
atheism.
God bless you guys. Guys, take care,
defending
okay?
this crazy
Fuck you, God.
Yeah, back at you, buddy. Yeah, have a good one, man.
Take care.
He made it a good show there. All right, everybody else, don't forget, my man Godless here is putting on the Rocket City Reason Conference in North Alabama, Huntsville, Alabama, October 23rd, 24th, and 25th. We're all going to be hanging out. There's powerhouses like Godless here is going to be there. Forrest Valcott, Thanker, Seth Andrews, Gutsick Gibbon. I mean, you name it. We're going to have a great time. You can get your tickets at Rocket City Reason Conference. Godless, did I miss anything there?
Yeah, well, it's rocketcityreason.com is the website that you can go to.
RocketCityReason.com.
Yeah, right. We're gonna have a drag show. We're gonna have barbecue on Friday, and we're also gonna go to the Space and Rocket Center.
Awesome.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I haven't met Thinker in person yet, but I'll have to see if Justin's going. If he's going, I'll go for sure too.
I'm working on him. I'm trying to get him to come. Hopefully I can get him to come.
I'll ask him and see if he'll go. We'll see if he'll go or not.
If
We'll all
enough
hassle
people
him.
peer
We'll all
pressure him,
hassle
he
and
will
see what
come.
happens.
I know that he is driving distance away, so I hope that he can.
Yeah, he's only a little bit north of me, so if it's driving distance for him, then I can make it too. I'll try to see what I can do. That'd be fun,
Hey, y'all can carpool. Y'all can like take turns driving and stuff.
right?
Hey, Apostate,
Oh, yeah?
thank you so much for letting me come up here and sort of crash on that conversation. I appreciate it.
Don't be silly. Thank you for coming. It was a great, great Sabbath, y'all.
Yeah.
It's the best Sabbath ever so far. That was by far the biggest audience I've had, especially for that long. We had, hold on, let me see.
There was 190 something.
There was over 170 for over half an hour, so that's
Yeah.
that's pretty good. Hell yeah. But guys, y'all please, I got a YouTube channel also that's Apostate Ape. I put these replays on there every day, so y'all support me over there if you can, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, make sure you're following Dugald. He does an awesome political show one day and deconstruction. And Godless here, he's activist for it all, man. You name it, my man Godless does it. But we're all debaters here. But anyway, this was day number 72 in the books for the ape here. And again, thank you to my co-host today, Godless and Dugald. Y'all
Appreciate
throw
you,
them a
friend.
follow before we close out
Thank you.
here. Oh, also, don't forget about Dr. Josh's new book, Dr. Joshua Bowen. It's for sale on Amazon. Learn Ancient Hebrew. Stupid camera. This is it right here. You can get it on Amazon and support our best friend, Dr. Josh, and his family. He's here pretty much every day. He was here earlier, I think. But he's here pretty much every day now, so that's pretty awesome. And guys, I'm going to work now, but y'all have a great day, and we will catch y'all maybe tomorrow if y'all are around.
All right, see ya.
All right. See you later.
Have a good one, guys. Thank you, everybody, for coming. We'll catch y'all tomorrow for day number 73. Much love, guys. Big Perm, what's up, buddy? Much love. All right, I'm out now. Have a good one, y'all. See you, Dugald.